original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Breaking news on the Middle East. President Trump says on social media that Israel and Lebanon have agreed to a 10-day ceasefire. It came hours after Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth delivered a warning to Iran.
Our forces are maximally postured to restart combat operations should this new Iranian regime choose poorly and not agree to a deal.
Hegseth also said the U.S. blockade of Iran's ports will last for as long as it takes. Aaron McClain is a CBS News national security analyst.
This blockade is, in essence, an act of economic warfare and economic pressure to bring Iran to a more serious position at the bargaining table. This ceasefire runs out in just a few days. Early next week will be its expiration. And Secretary Hegseth was saying that we have essentially military means that we can add back onto the economic pressure of the blockade if the United States chooses.
Now to Virginia, where police say the state's former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax shot and killed his wife, then took his own life at their home. Their 2 children were home at the time. CBS's Nicole Skanga.
The violence has been linked to some escalating tensions around the couple's separation. We know that they were living together but in separate bedrooms, and that the former lieutenant governor had been served paperwork related to his divorce in the days leading up to this tragedy. There's flood and wind damage in parts of Wisconsin, Michigan, and other states after several days of violent weather. CBS News meteorologist Jessica Birch says in some places there could be additional trouble later today.
More flooding potential into the evening hours tonight. So the National Weather Service, until further notice, has issued plenty of flood watches and warnings in places like Grand Rapids all the way over in Detroit. So we're monitoring that closely as we're gearing up for an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain from that system.
For the third time in a month, there's been a close call between a commercial jet and a truck at an airport. CBS's Michael Wallace.
An American Airlines jet was taxiing at Charlotte Douglas International Airport when an airport operations truck cut it off.
We nearly hit them. I had to slam on the brakes. That was really bad.
The flight to Washington, D.C. still took off on schedule. The incident comes a week after a Frontier plane nearly collided with 2 trucks at LAX, and 3 weeks after an Air Canada jet struck a fire truck at New York's LaGuardia Airport, killing both pilots.
A federal commission selected by President Trump has approved the design concept for the triumphal arch he wants to build at an entrance to the nation's capital. Wall Street, right now the Dow is up 117 points. NASDAQ and S&P are higher. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Straight ahead, will the AI boom impact your power bill and your wallet? That story next. But first, a look at KIRO Newsradio traffic. The South End still a mess this morning. Northbound 167 remains slow heading into Renton from Auburn. That's going to take you almost 40 minutes instead of the typical 17. And this is still the aftermath of a crash that happened earlier this morning. It's going to take some time for the commute to recover. Heading down 405 from Bellevue to Renton and South Center. Not a great commute, taking you 32 minutes to get to South Center, almost twice as long as what is typical. And then heading up from Federal Way to SeaTac, that's delayed as well, 17 minutes compared to just 10. Now, if you're looking up into the north end, not too bad. There's some slowdowns around 522 and southbound 405, but the bridges are looking good. And heading into Seattle, except for a typical slowdown right around Northgate, things are moving roughly at the speed limit. This traffic report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony night presented by T-Mobile is Saturday, May 2nd. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm John Repp. Seattle residents could soon feel the impact of the AI boom on their wallets. 3 companies are exploring plans to build massive new data centers in the city, projects that could consume as much as a third of Seattle's power supply. Now, the million-dollar question is, of course, how much electricity these data centers will need. We don't really know for sure, but one estimate, based on average consumption, puts it close to 390 megawatts. That's enough power to power about 300,000 homes. Andy Strong with Seattle City Light says they are working on a new draft policy. They have it on Mayor Katie Wilson's desk to make sure that these large load customers don't drive up rates for everyone else. It's a framework with future demand in mind. Starbucks employees are jittery about the future of the coffee giant in Seattle after the company leased a massive office in Nashville, Tennessee. The Seattle Times reports that is enough space there in Tennessee for up to 2,000 people. For context, Starbucks currently employs about 3,000 people in its SoDo headquarters. This move comes amid criticism over Seattle's business climate, along with concerns about new state taxes that could drive companies out of state. Starbucks maintains it is not leaving Seattle. Amazon is accused of underpaying female employees, according to a complaint filed in court earlier this month. The Seattle Times reports that these two female employees say they faced a discriminatory classification system at Amazon that let them be substantially underpaid compared to male coworkers with the same job titles and comparable experience. Pierce County Council members are asking Sound Transit to deliver on its light rail promises. In a letter to Sound Transit's board of directors, they note that county residents have been paying for system improvements, but they haven't seen much in return. They want the agency to complete the light rail extension to the Tacoma Dome, and they are, of course, the latest community to push back against looming cuts as Sound Transit faces a $34 billion budget shortfall. And despite the conflict between Iran and the United States, the Iranian men's soccer team will take part in the World Cup here in Seattle in June. That's according to FIFA President Gianni Infantino. He tells CNBC that sports should be outside of politics.
Iran has to come. Of course, they represent their people. They have qualified. The players want to play.
Iran is scheduled to face Egypt June 26th at Lumen Field. Taking a look at your weather forecast today. Sunshine along with a few clouds, the high 56. Light winds, and then tomorrow we're looking at partly cloudy skies, the high of 59 degrees, and then warming up. Welcome news as we head into the weekend, the high 65 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Currently in downtown Seattle, we have mostly cloudy skies, 41 degrees. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey. Happy Friday Eve, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Oh, man, I'm telling you right now, listen, y'all. There are so many stories that has me scratching my head, to which I sit back and I clutch pearls and I say, say what? But Ursula's going to bring it all today. Here you go. Good morning, Ursula.
Well, one of them is going to be coming up at 9:30 because millions of dollars have been spent. 0 fines have been collected. I mean, fair enforcement on the light rail trains in King County is a joke.
Oh, they hired the ambassadors, so I already know that a whole bunch of fines got paid. I already know.
No. What I'm trying to say is no, unfortunately not. And then you wonder why they have budget problems. But we're going to talk about that coming up at 9:30. As always, we invite you to join us on the Munkle Street Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
All right, let's get to it. Top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergas Law.
Okay, you heard John's weather forecast. The weather is calm right now in the Seattle area, but it was very different yesterday afternoon. We had thunder, lightning, hail in mid-April.
Never thought I would see this in Seattle.
And now we have sunshine. So, Gee, where were you when that all happened? I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was so crazy. I was talking to my boy, Mike Bible, and he was at work, and he was telling me, oh, my goodness, you should see this weather. And I could hear it. And I was down in Tacoma at the gym, and nothing. I never saw
so
anything.
So you missed it.
Matter of fact, the sun was shining. All the folks down in I never saw anything.
Oh, my God. It was. So I was trying to take a nap because I was going to have an event. I was going to go out to dinner with some friends. I was like, okay, I need to take a little nap. I couldn't because it was so loud. I mean, my whole house was lighting up, and it was like thunder, lightning, hail. And then I drove on the Aurora Bridge, and there was like little piles of hail on there.
Wow.
So it was nuts. But if I put my meteorologist hat on and explain why we had it, we had cold air sitting high in the atmosphere while the ground was warming up just enough. And so that clash is what fuels those thunderstorms. But I mean, on social media, people were saying, is that a water spout over Puget Sound? That has not been confirmed by the National Weather Service just yet. But that is something I guess you living in the Midwest would know much more about.
Yeah.
It's something that's a lot more common over there. But I'm glad that, because one other big thing today, remember, first
8 o'clock.
Yes, sunset, 8 o'clock.
It's
so
happening.
It's just
Let's go.
Yep. A lot better. Okay, you also heard in John's newscast that Seattle is about to find out what the AI boom really costs, and it might show up on your power bill. There are 3 companies eyeing massive new data centers in the city, and together they could reportedly use up as much as a third of Seattle's electricity. Luke Ducey is here in studio. Explain, first of all, where would these be built?
So Seattle City Light tells us they're looking, these 3 companies, at land in the southernmost part of their areas of operation, close to existing power stations. So if you're running in their coverage zone west to east, you got 3 Tree Point, and then kind of near Highway 518, so just south of that, and then goes up to just north of Renton. So power stations in that area is kind of where they're eyeing.
Okay, so tell us about these, why we would need these, and why there's this big push now.
We're all using AI now. Everything's using AI now. AI takes a lot of data. It takes a lot of power to run. So you need to build the data centers to take care of it, house, and get all that data moving very quickly if you can, so we don't have delays on our iPhones when we're looking at directions and things like that. So the big question is, though, how much electricity will they need? You mentioned it. Maybe enough to power some 300,000 homes across Seattle. Economics 101, folks. I mean, Professor Hoffman told me at VCU, when there's more demand, the prices go up, right? So Andy Strong with City Light tells us, though, that they have a draft policy in place because of this issue, but also because there's a new movement in our area and everywhere else around the country to go of electrification. So EVs, buildings running more things on electricity, things running more things on electricity. That's where the world's moving. So there's a draft policy on Mayor Katie Wilson's desk right now to make sure that high demand from large load customers don't drive up everyone else's rates.
It's going to take some time to review with the mayor's office all options that we have to protect our ratepayers.
And City Light says we're going to make sure that you, me, everyone living in Seattle, if data centers come here and they build or something like that, that we're not paying extra rates because they're sucking up all the electricity. They say that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
that's the PR
I just
part.
report the news.
Okay, let me back up for a sec. So right now they're looking at 3. Okay.
There were 4. One company backed out.
One company backed out. So of the 3. Did you say in totality of the 3 would be 300,000?
Totality.
Okay, in totality. Yeah. Okay. And in your opinion, is City Light, are they definite that we, the people, won't be charged extra because of something like this? Or this is what they foresee right now?
We interviewed, and Aaron Granillo and I are working on a story together on next week on this as well in a podcast form. He asked the questions, and Andy told City Light told Aaron, we cannot let that happen. Okay. So that he was adamant. We cannot let other people's rates go up because of things like this and because of electrification.
Is there anything else that they use besides light? You know what I'm saying? Like
water,
those kind of things.
Oh, absolutely. You know, this is big for so many companies in big tech. Think of all the big companies. They're all building data centers. AWS leads the way globally. They build the most data centers in the world. But there's a race to win this AI, race. And whoever builds the most and gets the most, they make more money, more profit. They own the market. So, yeah, and there are good companies and bad companies in all of this. There are a lot of bad companies out there. Maybe you've heard these stories. They might set up shop in these rural areas, and all they want to do is use data centers to mine cryptocurrency, crypto. And so companies like that, there are horror stories about them using water from rivers and lakes and returning warm water, heated water back to those same sources kills fish, kills biology. Or
also puts a strain on the water.
Absolutely, because a lot of that evaporates in the process as well, a lot of the water. So it's taking water supply away from areas too.
Well, and the reason they use the water is to cool these centers, right?
To help cool centers. And also, how else can you cool centers? Air conditioning. So it's either electricity or it's water we're talking about. But other companies like Microsoft have plans out there, and they've come out and said, we're going to do everything we can, and we have a plan to stop using water, to stop using so much electricity, to build our own power grids if we have to. So
is
they're
this
very
a foregone
aware.
conclusion, though, for Seattle? Because I asked that because there are communities that have pushed back. And in places like Northern Virginia or Texas, we've heard about the strain actually on the grid and issues with reliability and grid issues and blackouts.
Brownouts, blackouts, environmental issues, absolutely. Is this a done deal? No, this is not a done deal here in Seattle. This is the very early stages. They're doing something called cluster studies with City Light. They're looking into, okay, what kind of infrastructure would we need if we did this? What does it look like? What does the power grid situation look like? How much electricity would we need? So they're just looking, they're kicking the tires, is what they're doing. And they're looking at the car, and maybe they're thinking about test driving, but they're not even close to buying it and going all in yet.
Thank you.
Thanks, Luke. Appreciate it. Man, Ursula, seems like all they want to do is zoom, and a boom, boom. All right. What's next?
Yep. Well, let's talk about Washington's job market because boom, boom, it's actually wobbling. The numbers are heading in the wrong direction. The state's unemployment rate just ticked up to 5.1%. That is the fourth straight monthly increase. Job growth in February, we only added 700 jobs statewide. That is barely a pulse. And state economists say overall growth has basically stalled over the past year. We're only up like 0.4% compared to this time last year. And the part you're going to feel and you hear about, and if you have young ones trying to find jobs, you hear about them talking about it all the time. The number of unemployed workers is going up, including here in the Puget Sound region, where thousands more people are now looking for work. There are a few bright spots, like business support roles and manufacturing saw increases in hiring, but those gains are being wiped out by losses in healthcare, education, and tech.
I went down a rabbit hole with this topic because, obviously Washington State right now hitting 5.1%, the fourth straight month of increases and everything like that. But here's the angle that I wanted to talk about, Ursula. Really quick, I'm just going to get into it and then I'm just get right back out because nationally right now, on a national level, white people unemployment rate right now sits at 3.6%, and black unemployment here in this country sits at 7.1%. So it is a double. And if you go back to last year, some of us were talking about how between the months of February and May of 2025, I want to get into that because during that time, black women lost 319,000 jobs in the job sector, while white women saw a gain of 142,000 jobs during that same time. Latina women gained 176,000 jobs, and white men gained 365,000 jobs. The reason why I'm adding context to that, because when we talk about general unemployment, there's some people in America that are impacted way more than others. So sometimes it's not necessarily a economy problem. Sometimes you can see the structural problem that's set up to go. So to hear about this happening here in the state, 5.1%, that's scary considering that the promise was for things to get better and you to be able to buy groceries and keep jobs.
And the breakdown, and thank you for doing that breakdown, the breakdown that you're bringing up, are there reasons attributed to those specifics?
Yeah, it's always been that way. It's literally always been that way since the beginning of time, especially when folks were able to start working. It's literally a structural problem, and it's something that just remains and continues. So
has it gotten worse?
Yes. Yes. Especially since 2025 when there was the turn of because when Biden was in office and everything like that, it was not this bad. But as soon as 2025, but then you could actually go and point to who was the strongest demographic for voting for Kamala Harris. 9 in 10 black women were voting for Kamala Harris. So who is getting the brunt of this? Black women in this country.
Okay, we've already talked about this controversial new law involving elected sheriffs, but the legal fight is growing this morning. 4 Eastern Washington sheriffs, including the one in Spokane County, have now filed their own lawsuit to block this law, separate from an earlier, broader challenge already in the courts. So to be very clear, though, this law does not allow sheriffs to be removed for just any reason, even though that is seemingly what some are trying to argue right now, but it sets up a process where a state board can step in if a sheriff is found to have violated specific professional standards, the same kinds of rules that apply to other law enforcement officers. But these sheriffs who filed the suit say even that goes too far, arguing that voters and not this unelected board should decide who holds the job. Supporters, though, say this is about accountability, making sure no one is above the standards of the badge. A judge is going to take up this latest case today, deciding whether to pause the law. But as you can tell, I don't think this is going to be the last lawsuit also filed. This is shaping up to be a much bigger fight.
This is just common sense, okay? It's simple. If the voters vote someone in to a position, then an appointed board of people should not be able to remove the folks that were voted in. The people get to decide. Now, if you want to have this discussion about whether or not they should be voted in or appointed as sheriffs, that's an entirely different conversation. Until that happens, by the way, I feel like we're saying the same thing all over again, Ursula. Until that happens, right, there's that. And oh, by the way, if you're going to be doing this, spread the wealth and the love. Don't just do it for sheriffs. Do it for elected officials. Do it for the people that are in politics. Do it for those that decide to go do some drinking down at the legislature, right? Look, y'all got me siding. And just so we're clear, we all know why this is happening. This is happening because of the Pierce County Sheriff. Now, I'm
wondering if that is that,
yes.
Do you think that's the only thing? Because I'm the minority on this one, but I actually support this law. I support this law.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
I have supported it.
Yeah, it doesn't take away your right to vote for sheriff. And again, I know I'm in the minority, and I'm okay with that. Because you still choose who gets the job. You still get to vote who gets the job. But what it does, and I think the intention of this, is to create a safeguard after that election in case the sheriff violates the standards of the badge. Because right now, every other officer can lose their certification for misconduct, but the sheriff, the person who is actually in charge, cannot, or it would be very difficult. You've got to do a recall. That's very difficult. That's very time-consuming. Okay. So what happens if a sheriff does go rogue? Do you just have to wait years for the next election? This law does not override the voters, but it protects the public between the elections. Yeah. And to me, I don't think that's a power grab. I think that's accountability. That's a safeguard.
I just think, and that's fair. I'm glad you're opposing on that side, and that's great.
And again, I said, I know I'm in the minority.
But this is one of those things where, again, if we want to have the discussion about the people and whether it should be voted in or appointed, no problem. But until that changes, you cannot just pick on the sheriffs of those elected. You have to keep that same energy for everyone else that's elected in the state. So there's a lot of hypocrisy in this whole deal. Again, let me say this again, Ursula. Imagine this. We just had a dude was drinking in the legislature.
And I think there should be an easier route to get rid of someone like that, too.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all got me siding with sheriffs in Eastern Washington?
I don't mind siding with sheriffs, but on this one, I disagree.
Well, sometimes I do, especially the one. But like I said, that one down in Pierce County is the reason for this all. Okay, Ursula, good stuff. Coming up at 9:47, this is going to be Would You Rather. This 9:30, we got Chris Sullivan coming in to discuss this. This is outrageous. Like this right here
is really sad. This, when we talk about it, is a direct reflection of awful leadership. We'll talk about that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge of win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Play Washington lottery, lottery, yeah.
Visit WaLottery.com, who benefits to learn more. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Washington, recent headlines might concern you. Talk of pocket listings or private networks where only certain consumers see certain properties are all over the media. Good news. The legislature recently passed a bill to protect you in your transaction. No secret deals, all listings available for everyone to see, not just an exclusive club of insiders. This means more competition, better offers, and fair access for all consumers. Learn more at warealtor.org, sponsored by Washington Realtors.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-959-3388. That's 800-959-3388.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, not all tax resolution companies are the same. There are some that are definitely not local. There are others that don't quite know what they're doing even.
Well, I tell you, these ads that all of us hear, Fresh Start program, they make you feel like, hey, man, I can just easy peasy get my taxes written off. No. And I've had several clients actually come to me after going through that process, and they just get no response after a while. They're passed around from person to person. That doesn't happen at my firm.
You are familiar with the cases that come in. You're working on them.
I'm familiar with every case that comes into our office. And I know what's going on and have the ability to really advise our taxpayers very well on what to do.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution, from stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
Gas prices keep climbing, but the cost to drive doesn't have to. At Subaru of Puyallup, fuel-efficient models help you go farther on every tank with the confidence of all-wheel drive. From the all-electric Solterra to the Forester Hybrid with up to 35 miles per gallon, your stress-free shopping experience starts at Subaru of Puyallup. For stress-free pricing, a huge selection, and all the current pricing and financing specials, visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm John Repp. President Trump announces a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Lebanon. CBS's Linda Kenyon reports from the White House.
The president says he's spoken by phone with the president of Lebanon and the prime minister of Israel. Posting on social media, Trump said both agreed to a 10-day ceasefire. The president also wrote that he has directed Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Rubio and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff to work with Israel and Lebanon to achieve a lasting peace. Trump also wrote, quote, "It has been my honor to solve 9 wars across the world, and this will be my 10th. So let's get it done." Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The ceasefire scheduled to begin at 2 p.m. today. Should Sound Transit install turnstiles or fare gates at its light rail stations to make sure that riders are paying? Only 61% of light rail riders pay their fares today. Sound Transit board member Claudia Balducci thinks that fare gates could be helpful.
There may be some locations where turnstiles are the answer. There's just too much fare jumping, and we want to block it off. But I don't think we need to do it at every single one of these stations. And what I want to do is be data-based about it.
Sound Transit might install fare gates at 5 stations later this year to see if they make a difference. The agency is currently $34 billion in the hole for expanding light rail. Washington sheriffs are heading to court today to challenge a controversial law that lets a state board decertify and remove elected sheriffs from office. As you've heard earlier today, a court hearing in Pend Oreille County focuses on the measure designed to strengthen accountability for law enforcement. And China's foreign ministry says SeaTac Airport should be avoided after what it describes as repeated incidents of malicious questioning and harassment targeting Chinese scholars. The Seattle Times reports the Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued that warning after 20 scholars were denied entry by U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. It urges citizens to stay away from the airport if possible and to respond calmly if questioned by U.S. law enforcement. On Wall Street, stocks moving higher after yesterday's record-setting day. The Dow is up 106 points, S&P 500 up as well by 27 points, and the NASDAQ up 135. KIRO News Radio traffic. Nice to see a lot of red disappear from that traffic map, especially on 167 from Auburn and Kent into Renton. However, we are still seeing some slowdowns heading northbound on 405 to Bellevue. Not seeing huge delays, though. Another slowdown to note is heading out of Federal Way into SeaTac. That's a 20-minute drive, more than double the typical time. But heading southbound, it is a breeze for this time of day. Faster than expected, Bothell to Bellevue. And if you're heading from Alderwood to South Center, mall to mall through I-5, it'll only take you 32 minutes. That's half the typical time. This traffic report brought to you by D.R. Horton. D.R. Horton has new homes in communities across Puget Sound and Central Washington ready for you. Visit drhorton.com, America Builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. Taking a look at your weather forecast, it is nice to see things clearing up a little bit after the wild weather we've seen. Mostly sunny today, the high 56, even warmer on Friday, and then partly cloudy, high of 65 degrees on Saturday and Sunday. A couple more clouds moving in Sunday as you get ready for your Monday. But currently in downtown Seattle, we have mostly cloudy skies, some sunshine peeking through, 41 degrees. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show, and we got to get to the bottom of this because I saw the headline, 30 officers, 40,000 hours, and not a single fine collected. We are talking about a Seattle's Morning News commentary, this new report showing that King County Metro handed out more than 2,000 warnings, but just 8 citations, all of them canceled. Sully, you are here because you had a chance to talk to one of the board members, I believe.
For Sound Transit.
For Sound Transit.
Correct.
Talking about how are they going to get people to pay fares.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, Metro has its own issues with Charlie's commentary this morning, I think, which was maddening enough to know that they spent 40,000 hours and didn't write a single ticket or do anything.
They cited 8 people and then they waived
those all went
of them.
away. Yeah, that went away.
So what's the point?
There basically is no fair enforcement on Metro. My story today on light rail is 61% of people pay their fares on light rail.
Yes.
Which is not good.
Yes.
That's a lot of people that are not paying their fares. And of course, we know Sound Transit doesn't even have fair enforcement. They got rid of their fair enforcement officers as part of the defund the police movement because everyone started saying collecting fares and asking people for fares was racist. That was actually what happened with Sound Transit, getting rid of their fare ambassadors they replaced them with don't really check fares either. And so something has got to be done to pay for the service that we want or that we have.
Yes.
For Sound Transit, they're actually, to their credit, is considering putting in turnstiles.
Okay, good.
At several of their stations. Not all of the stations, but at several of the stations. They're considering whether or not to go forward with a pilot project that would put turnstiles in, or as they call them, fare gates, at 5 of the busiest stations and see if that makes a difference in getting people to pay their fares. Now, as I said, 61% of riders pay. That number was down to about 55% during coming out of the pandemic. But when light rail opened, we would have hit 90 to 95% fare compliance. So what happened? 15 years ago, people were fine paying our tolls. We come out of the pandemic and whatnot, and people just feel like it's okay to just not pay. And I don't understand. It's probably because there is no, in any way, shape, or form, enforcement. And why does this matter? Well, when you're bleeding $34 billion, I mean, every dollar counts. Every dollar counts for Sound Transit. Will getting 100% fare compliance fix their problems? No. But it'd be nice to get some money, and I don't understand why.
How much are they losing by not enforcing fares?
Well,
and again, I know we're making a distinction, but it's both on buses and on light rail. It seems like just very lackadaisical.
Yeah, I mean, there is basically no consequence for not paying your toll or not paying your fare. And why does it matter? For Sound Transit, they promised voters they would get 40% of their funding from toll collection. The rest would come from our car tabs, right? And so I think people will be like, oh, okay. But the problem is they lowered their expectations. Now they only say they're hoping to get 17% of their funding from fares, and the actual number is only 12%. So they're not getting any money to their funding. So when they're $34 billion in the hole and they come back to us with another ballot measure going, please, 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 and the people in King County will vote for it again, and Snohomish County and Pierce County will get screwed again, they'll be like, but there's no money. I mean, there's no accountability. It's one of the most maddening things that we have going on in this region is just the lack of oversight and compliance when it comes to these public transit agencies. And our 2 stories today show it.
So they hired 30 officers. And how much money did it cost?
They did 40,000 hours worth of work.
$3 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. So $3 million. How much would it cost to just insert the turnstile? That's one. And 2, the FIFA World Cup is coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Are they going to do anything before then?
Probably not. No. Probably not.
No.
Other than making getting around downtown basically impossible because of the exclusion zone that they're doing a mile around Lumen Field that will get rid of parking, get rid of people driving, and the only access will be transit in some ways. But no, they and the thing is do they need to put how much money is it going to cost to put in turnstiles at all of Sound Transit's 40 spots? I don't think that makes sense. And one of the reasons is because Sound Transit decided to build its rail at grade, which means at street level.
Yeah.
If you put turnstiles at street level and you don't want to pay, what are you going to do? I'm going to walk around the street or across the tracks and get in. So you can't really put turnstiles there. Does it make sense in downtown? Does it make sense at Northgate? Does it make sense at South Bellevue Park and Ride?
Yes.
Heck yeah. Do it.
And again, we are talking about 2 separate things, which is riding buses, riding light rail. But the same things are happening is essentially people are getting away with not having to pay the fares.
And there is zero enforcement.
Yes. And it seems like there's zero impetus or zero initiative to try to correct that.
Yeah, and also to correct the behavior of, and I'm not sure how if we'll ever get to the idea of why now, when people used to pay when it was on the honor system, and now for some reason they're not.
Okay, and then I was hearing from Everett's mayor, sorry, G.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Everett's mayor, Cassie Franklin, and also Tacoma, both saying on the light rail front, hey, we need to make sure. It sounds like they're worried that they're not the trains are not going to be stopping in their stops.
Well, yeah, and they should be. I mean, because let's not forget, ST3 has not even started. ST3 was what was voted on in 2016. $54 billion to take light rail to Everett, Tacoma, Ballard, and West Seattle. We haven't even started on that. All the stuff we've been doing up to this point has been ST1 and ST2. So we had that $54 billion issue that was, again, overwhelmingly favored by voters in King County, barely favored in Snohomish County, and voted down in Pierce County. But they're like, okay, you've been charging me for 25 or 30 years. You damn well better get to what you've promised me in Tacoma and Everett and West Seattle and Ballard. I get that. If people voted for it, or even if they voted against it and it passed, that was a promise. You have to make that happen. But at what point do you go, we're $34 billion in the hole on something that's $54 billion, and we haven't even started? Is it going to get any cheaper? At some point, you might have to go, okay, do we really need West Seattle? Do we really need to get to Tacoma? I think the answer to Tacoma is yeah, because Pierce County hasn't gotten jack out of Sound Transit in 30 years. And again, the county voted it down. Snohomish County hasn't really gotten jack. Sure, we've got the light rail to Linwood now. Woo, big deal. But meanwhile, the people that are complaining the most are the people in, if you want Ballard and West Seattle, have Seattle vote on it and have Seattle raise their money faster and do it for that. But keep the other, because if you go to, right now people are fed up with this. One, it's not safe to be on the train for a lot of people. There's no fare enforcement. There's no way to recoup any of the money there. And people are fed up. I think they're tired of it. They're tired of being taken for a ride by these agencies, and with no consequences.
Thanks, Sully.
Yeah, anytime.
Hey, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, it's time for Would You Rather? Gee and Ursula.
Congratulations. Congratulations to KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger and digital content producer Patrick Janasek, nominated for a Northwest Emmy Award for investigative reporting.
It began with a question from the community. It seemed almost too stunning to be true.
KIRO News Radio is honored to be the only radio station nominated for the prestigious Emmy Award as part of our commitment to impactful storytelling across every platform, reaching into the communities we serve. On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
511 is now part of Seattle, and they're celebrating at South Center Mall this Saturday, April 18th. 511 makes purpose-built gear, including pants, shirts, bags, and more, built to handle whatever your day throws at you. Be one of the first 100 people in line and get a free gift. Then check out the 511 Adventure Area and test your skills on the rock climbing wall. Join them from 10 to 6, one day only. Saturday, April 18th at South Center.
Hey there, Dawn Riley with Olympic Hot Tub. We're here to help you achieve total wellness at home. Right now, save up to $2,800 on a saltwater hot spring spa for fabulous healthy soaks. Or save up to $12,000 on an endless pool swim spa and turn your backyard into a year-round swim oasis. These massive savings end April 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
This is Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. I'm working to lower costs, grow the middle class, keep us safe, and defend our freedom. I'm also here to help you with the IRS, Social Security, Medicare, the VA, passports, and more. We've recovered over $16 million for taxpayers and look forward to helping you. Call me at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Families across Western Washington voted Aegis Living Best Senior Living Community, and Seniorly ranked them #1 in America. See why. Schedule a tour today at aegisliving.com/KIRO and get a special take-home gift. Aegis Living. This must be the place.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or AdvancedHair.com.
What if the biggest risk to your retirement isn't your investments? It's retiring without a plan for your life. Most people are told the same story. Save enough, invest wisely, and everything will work out. But no one really explains what happens when the paycheck stops and your identity and daily life changes overnight. Brian Evans and Dr. Richard Himmer, partners at Madrona Financial and CPAs, are hosting a live webinar called Beyond the Numbers, the conversation your advisor should be having with you. In this session, they'll walk through the financial side, income, taxes, and investment strategy, and the human side of retirement. How to design a life your money is meant to support. Because no single product solves retirement, and no financial plan works without a clear vision for your life. The next event is April 21st at 6:30 p.m. To register, visit madronafinancial.com/events or call 833-673-7373. And be sure to catch Growing Your Wealth, Saturdays at 9 a.m.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, how is your stock portfolio? How's that been happening? Well, coming up at 10 o'clock, we will talk about some in this country are doing very well and some are not. And we'll explain that at 10 o'clock. But right now, let's get to the world-famous game, Would You Rather? Simple question here. Would you rather explore a new city every day for a week or spend the whole week at one perfect beach resort? Ursula?
Perfect beach resort every time. Wait. What was the first option?
Would you rather explore a new city every day for a week or spend the whole week at one perfect beach resort?
Depending on, okay, I know I have to pick one, so I'll go with beach resort. I'll go with beach resort. Okay. And the reason I say that is because it's too hectic. It's not relaxing to try a new city every day of the week. No. Okay. I love exploring new cities, but that's just not relaxing.
I'm new city. Sophia?
No, I think it's impossible to actually see a whole city in one day. And that would be too much. I feel like people are always trying to pack too much in their vacation.
Yes.
Just put me on the beach and I'm fine.
Would you rather go on a luxury cruise for 10 days or backpack through 5 countries on a budget?
Oh, at this juncture of my life, luxury cruise, of course.
Cruise all day?
Yeah.
Sophia?
Y'all, it's going to be crazy, but I kind of want to go on a cruise. I think this is my cruise era.
Yes.
So if anyone has any recs on a cruise.
Oh, I do.
I think I'm not going to do the backpacking thing.
Hit me up. When I was in my 20s, the backpack through Europe thing, that was incredible. I recommend that for everybody.
Yeah. Here we go. Would you rather stay in a 5-star hotel in a boring location or a basic hostel in the most stunning place on earth?
I can't do youth hostels anymore. I'm going to go with the 5-star hotel.
Not even close. 5-star hotel.
And this is where I get to be young. I would choose the hostel and like in a beautiful location.
Yes.
What are we talking about 5-star? You mean like Ohio? Like are we in a 5-star hotel? Like what do you mean by boring location?
Sophia, 5-star hotel in
Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Eugene, Oregon, Boise, Idaho, Twin Falls, Idaho.
Yeah.
How about that?
I mean, if I'm there for like a work thing and it's like I get to just enjoy like staying in the hot tub, maybe.
Yes.
But for an actual vacation, I choose a place with a good location, good city.
Okay.
Can I just share? I just remember one time when I was in a youth hostel, I got in one of their, well, first of all, having to sleep in a room with multiple people that you don't know. I mean, I think of the things that I did, and would I even consider that today? No.
Yeah.
But the other part of it is I got into the shower. This was actually in Greece. I got into the shower and my foot like literally went through the shower floor. Look.
Sounds awful.
Yeah.
Sounds
not doing it. Not doing
awful.
it today.
All right, couple more. Would you rather vacation somewhere freezing cold with breathtaking scenery or scorching hot with crystal clear water?
Oh, scorching hot, crystal clear water.
Oh, gosh.
Don't give me a cold place.
Scorching hot sounds awful. Now hot, but scorching hot. And when I say scorching hot, 100 plus degrees, yeah, I would take freezing cold with breathtaking scenery.
What? If it's scorching hot and you have the water right there, just jump in the water.
Yes.
There
Just
you
stay
go.
in the water.
You don't have to be hot. Just stay in the water.
Okay, well, I like my side of things, and you can have your scorching hot. Here's the last one. Would you rather take one dream vacation a year or 4 solid long weekends spread throughout the year? One luxury dream vacation a year or 4 long weekends spread out throughout the year?
Oh, no. I'm taking the one long luxury one.
This is easy. 4.
Yeah.
Give me 4 long weekends somewhere. Let me make that happen. I feel like I'll get more out of it.
Yeah.
A long luxury one, I'll get bored after 4 days.
Yeah, I think I choose long weekends because I can spread them out. I can go to multiple places. That's what I like to do.
Okay, question for you though. How long do you have to be on vacation before you feel like you're on vacation? Because a long weekend, I do like long weekends, but when I actually go on vacation, it takes me a few days to unwind. And then I don't want to feel like I'm already thinking about packing when I'm just unwinding. You know what I mean?
Being away from home for 7 or more days sounds awful.
Are you serious?
Sounds awful.
Oh my gosh. That's
not even a
actually
vacation
beautiful
for me.
though, because that means you enjoy being home and you enjoy your routine.
It's not even a vacation for me.
You know, this was very vacation heavy. Would you rather? Is there something you want to talk about? What's the vacation? Are we in vacation mode? What's going on?
No, just thought I'd do a little vacation.
Friday Eve.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. How many days does it take you to relax?
About 3.
3
Especially
days?
if there's a time difference, a big time difference, I need a few days. If I am flying out of the country, I don't want it to be less than 2 weeks. It needs to be close to 2 weeks.
Yeah. I guess
because that's a lot of travel time.
I guess flying out of the country. 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Oh, you want to go on a 2-week vacation, G?
No.
Crazy.
14 days? Tick.
Easy.
Tick.
If I could do 3,
that's the life.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Oh man, 14 days. All right, hey, coming up next, hey, is Starbucks breaking up with Seattle? That's gonna be a topic we talk about. We'll do all that next. Gee Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
If by like the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly it's a bolt of lightning and I croak out right there, I'm fine.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
My dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed, the 1,500 pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
Progressive knows you want to get away, but not like too away. You crave the unknown, but also charcuterie boards with 4 types of cheese. And that's exactly why you bought an RV and bundled it with Progressive, because 24/7 protection is one luxury you'll never have to give up. So go ahead, explore the wilderness, all from the comfort of your zero-gravity camp chair. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a Best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Some people out there love to do things entirely on their own. Others ask for help and trust their resources. When involved in an auto accident, you've got the choice of dealing with insurance on your own or hiring an attorney. I'm joined in studio by Harold D. Carr. He represents Harold Carr Law Offices. Harold, what's one of the main reasons for seeking representation?
If you were to look at statistics, most people end up with a lot less recovery when they don't have a law firm representing them.
And why should they hire Harold Carr Law Offices?
We're not shy about bringing lawsuits. We do try to settle, and insurance companies know that. They know that we're fair in how we talk to them. The answer is really we are very professional. But we've had cases, big and small, where we've had to take it into litigation, and about 98% of those will settle in mediation, a lot more than the client originally expected.
Visit carlaw.com. That's carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call Carr.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco bill, and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Nothing worse than clutter. With Closets by Design, everything will finally have its place. 40% off plus 15% more and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Closet.byDesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump breaks the news that Israel and Lebanon have agreed on a ceasefire.
The president says he's spoken by phone with the president of Lebanon and the prime minister of Israel. Posting on social media, Trump said both agreed to a 10-day ceasefire. The president also wrote that he has directed Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Rubio and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff to work with Israel and Lebanon to achieve a lasting peace. Trump also wrote, quote, "It has been my honor to solve 9 wars across the world, and this will be my 10th. So let's get it done." Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Hezbollah, which has been battling Israel from Lebanon, says it will respect the ceasefire. This all comes hours after Defense Secretary Hegseth warned Iran to choose wisely.
If Iran chooses poorly, then they will have a blockade and bombs dropping on infrastructure, power, and energy.
He said the U.S. is poised to resume attacks if there's no deal with Iran. A ceasefire is due to expire next week. The BBC's Lise Doucette is reporting on the impact of the war from inside the country.
In those 5 weeks of war, there were also attacks on steel industries, on petrochemical factories. That's going to lead to a decline in economic activity, job losses. There were reports of all through the fighting that there were small businesses were being forced to close, and online businesses, because of the widespread internet blackout here, were simply unable to operate.
Now to Virginia, where police say former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax shot and killed his wife, then took his own life. Chief Kevin Davis says it came as the couple was headed toward divorce.
Both of their children, teenagers, were in the house when it happened. So that's horrible news for the family.
Correspondent Jim Krasula tells us what's old is new again for an NFL team that changed its name a few years ago.
A new uniform for the NFL's Washington Commanders includes a spear on the helmet in a nod to the team's former name. Some believe that could reignite debate over the team's use of Native American imagery. The team's main uniforms will look nearly identical to the ones the team wore before it dropped the name Redskins in 2020.
The federal judge who halted construction of President Trump's White House ballroom says work can proceed on a below-ground bunker and other national security facilities at that site. Wall Street. Right now, the Dow is down 1 point. The S&P is ahead by 6. This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Coming up, new scrutiny and questions over data centers in Seattle. But first, let's take a look at KIRO Newsradio traffic. SeaTac into Seattle running 7 minutes over the typical time. Slowdowns begin right along Boeing Field heading into town. That is the biggest trouble spot that I'm seeing, although I am monitoring some brake lights in 2 places on 405. Both of them are predictable, but heading northbound from South Center into Bellevue, not enough to create a huge delay, but just a few minutes as you pass 167 and you get into those notorious S-curves. The other slow spot southbound on 405 right at Canyon Park approaching 522. The good news, though, if you're heading southbound from Everett to Seattle, it will take you a flat 30 minutes, and that trend just continues heading out of Seattle southbound on I-5 if you're heading into SeaTac and beyond. Bridges are fine. No big issues that I see right now. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm John Repp. 3 companies are exploring plans to build massive new data centers in the city. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey says the projects could consume as much as a third of Seattle's power supply.
One estimate says the proposed data centers could use as much electricity needed to power around 300,000 homes. And if that demand for more power goes up, the price for electricity will go up too. Andy Strong with Seattle City Light tells us they're working to make sure that does not happen.
It's going to take some time to review with the mayor's office all options that we have to protect our ratepayers.
The 3 companies that have data centers around the world are in exploratory stages to build near existing City Light power stations. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Bad news for would-be transit riders in Everett who are learning that a light rail extension into town could be delayed. KIRO 7's Jake Chapman reports.
Public transit in the North Sound is a lifeline for so many.
I don't have a vehicle, so I use the public transit and the Light Link all the time.
And if you were to ask transit users what would make their lives easier, they would tell you the light rail extension in Everett they've been wanting for decades.
Sound Transit says rising construction costs and a $34 billion deficit could mean cutbacks or delays on ST3 system expansion work. Pierce County Council members are also doing a preemptive pushback, asking that Sound Transit deliver on its promise to bring transit to the region. Starbucks has been synonymous with Seattle since pretty much the beginning, but the coffee giant's new Nashville lease has SoDo employees worried about their future. The Seattle Times reports that Starbucks opened office space in Nashville with enough room to accommodate 2,000 people. All this amid concerns that the state's business climate is in contrast with the lower tax options like Tennessee. Is Seattle's startup scene slowing down? GeekWire reports that local startups attracted just 69 deals in the first quarter of this year. That's the lowest since 2020. But a good sign that summer is fast approaching. Tickets for Seafair are live as of this hour. That includes reserved seating for the Torchlight Parade, hydro races, and the air show. KIRO News Radio weather is sunny, along with a few clouds today, the high 56. Friday, partly cloudy skies and 59, and Saturday, warmer, the high 65. Some clouds gradually moving back in to close out your weekend. Currently 41 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday to you. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Hey, this 10 o'clock hour, we have a lot in store for you. Coming up at 10:30, have you heard of this new trend called non-maxing? Okay, you're just going to learn a lot of new stuff here on the Gee and Ursula Show, and that's going to be one because, quite frankly, I don't know a whole lot about it either. Luke is shaking his head. Gee, do you know about it?
It's actually Nona Maxing.
Nona Maxing. See, that's how much I don't know about it. Oh, you know what? Nona, Italian grandma.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a new trend. It's a cozy new trend. So we're going to find out more about that. As always, we invite you to join us on the Gee and Ursula Show. Our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
What's new at 10?
Okay, in our first hour, we talked about the possibility of 3 new massive data centers in Seattle. And again, it's very much a possibility. But Luke Ducey is back here now because we're going to talk about AI again. And there's something new that sounds like it could be troubling based on your face.
I'm here to scare the you-know-what out of you and all of our listeners this morning. I feel like that. And if you hear this and you are a little bit scared about it, you should be. You should be, because this is powerful stuff. Have you heard of Anthropic's new AI model called Mythos?
No.
So Anthropic, you've probably heard of this company. They have built the AI platform Claude, right? Well, they have a new, very powerful AI platform called Mythos that's so dangerous, they say, that they're not going to release it to the public. They're only giving it to certain companies because it can find hidden weaknesses in software and exploit them faster than anyone can stop it. Taking vulnerabilities that hackers spend months and years trying to find. Anthropic says it can find those vulnerabilities in just mere moments, seconds even. So why is this good? Why is this bad? Well, good for companies that are using it right now, or in the industry, white hats, people who hack for good. Especially with open source developers, it's an area, where they're developing software. There's going to be areas where people can put in vulnerabilities. For black hats, people who do bad things, hack for bad in the business, sophisticated cyber criminals, if they get their hands on something like this, think about this. They could hack into critical infrastructure, power grids, financial systems, hospitals. It'd be really, really difficult to stop them. In fact, you might not be able to stop them. That's how scary this is.
Okay, so you said right now it's only being offered or a possibility for very select companies. It just sounds like something just waiting to go wrong.
Doesn't it? That's what's scary. So Anthropic is introducing Mythos to a select 11 companies right now, big tech, those big companies and some others. It's an invite program only called Project Glasswing. What they're doing is having those companies test it out so they can lock down vulnerabilities as well really quickly. But also the federal government is now involved, including the Fed chair Jerome Powell. He just last week, according to Bloomberg, invited a bunch of banking institutions and big banks and others to Washington and said, hey, we want you to use this to find vulnerabilities because we know you've got them, and this will find them quickly so you're not hacked into, because it could also be a national security issue, of course. But just think of if bad guys got their hands on this, it would be really, really scary. Now, the other thing about this is, this Mythos is not just used for cybersecurity. That's the application right now because they know it works for cybersecurity. But every AI company's core business goal, Anthropic, OpenAI, who makes ChatGPT, Google, Microsoft, they have Copilot. They build what they call automated AI researchers, or AI models that help them build better AI models that help them build better AI models. So machines that make a better machine, so on and so on and so on. And it takes the human element out of it because AI is so good at that. It can do what humans can't. There's a warning because of all of this and all of that from Gregory Hinton, who was known as the godfather of AI, a computer scientist in the UK. Here's what he has said about this.
Now I think it's quite likely that sometime in the next 20 years, these things will get smarter than us. And we really need to worry about what happens then.
Scary stuff.
This reminds me of Nino Brown pulling up to the Carter with some brand new product. And if there's one thing that I know about exclusive events and how they say, hey, it's invite only. You mentioned earlier today, and I've talked to you about this, right now there's this big fight over the top dog or whatever, if you will, with AI. Is there a part of you that believes that this was a tease? Like, we got something so powerful that we're not even going to let you have it. You're not going to have this, but we got 11 companies that's going to get some of this. And so right now it has us folks, I need that. like Pookie. I need that.
Yeah, probably there's some elements of that. Some people even say this isn't even a thing. They're just making it up. They're bluffing. But, why then would the federal government call in institutions to look at it? And I would also answer your question this way as well. There's a race there's absolutely a race between tech companies to get the best AI product out there to make money, et cetera. But this is also a national security issue because there's a race between China and the U.S. right now, predominantly these two countries, to figure out how to use AI and be the best at it for things like this. Because you have to do that now. Because if the other side is your adversaries are doing it, you have to do it as well and develop it, because what if they did develop some kind of system, AI system that could hack into the codes, your national defense systems? That's a real thing. That's
you're talking about
threat.
Power grid. You're talking about
all of it.
Yeah, the destruction that could happen. It's like having to figure out how to stay ahead of people who have evil intent.
Absolutely. It's power grids. It's water supply is very vulnerable right now. A lot of people think that is going to be targeted next, but there's also other things that I know that I have been involved with at a tech company, just looking at different possibilities of where hackers and what they could do. How about this one? You turn off the power at grocery stores across the nation. Maybe you just pick one chain and in the meat section, turn it off for several hours at a time, and then turn it back on without anyone knowing. And what happens to the meat? It spoils, it gets rotten, right? And then people buy it, and you got thousands and thousands and thousands, and if not millions of people sick now and dying from food poisoning. But, there's different ways that hackers can really harm societies.
Well, we're fine because we have the FDA and we have all that kind of stuff. Hey, before you go, you and Aaron Ganillo, you guys follow this AI stuff a lot, and I was just thinking about I want to ask you where we are with AI. What I mean by that is kind of give us a mental picture. We just started talking about AI in February 2023, I remember, and I personally equate AI where we are right now to maybe the iPhone 2 or 3. We're in the early stages, and of course right now we're at iPhone 17. Where do you think we are, and where do you think it's going to be?
I think that's a great analogy. I think it's in those infancy stages, but we're not at we're not projecting and looking at, hey, there's going to be an iPhone 17. We're talking already with the possibilities and capabilities that we're looking at that there's going to be an iPhone, 900 million whatever version, and it's not going to be here in that many years. It's going to be here like in the next 6 months. These AI is being used in everything on what you do on your iPhone to piloting drones, both in the air and in the water. Because the U.S. military is developing water-capable drones as well, navigated and driven by AI. Being used in war. We're seeing that in the attacks in Iran. We're seeing it in the war in Ukraine. Things are being accelerated very quickly in a lot of different ways, not just, to help you bank or do whatever you want online, but also in ways that kill people.
Thanks, Luke.
Whew. Well, that's a lot to think about. Appreciate you, Luke Ducey. Thank you for joining us. Hey, here's a positive, G, because I know that you watch the stock market very closely, and U.S. stocks just hit a record high, S&P 500 topping 7,000 for the first time, even as the situation with Iran is anything but settled. And investors are betting that the war may be cooling off. And there is that fragile ceasefire. There's also talk of negotiations, and that has helped the market rebound after a nearly 10% drop during or at the inception of the war. But because there is this disconnect on the ground, there's still no clear path forward with Iran and plenty of risk that things could flare up. I'm curious as to what you're seeing and what your thoughts are with the market today.
Yeah. Well, over the last week, the market has exploded. They call it the Magnificent Seven. And that is Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, NVIDIA, Amazon, Tesla. Those stocks right there have risen 18%. Now, the rest have gone up 8%. So here's the thing about the stock market. I remember, Ursula, when I was younger, or when I say younger, I would say 7-8 years ago, when I would hear like on the radio, they'd be like, "Oh, the S&P," and I would hear that and be like, "I don't care nothing about that." You know what I mean? Because most people don't have a stock portfolio, and so this is an example of tales of two Americas that are happening right here in front of us. And what I mean by that is people that have it have been doing very well the last week, while gas prices averaging $4.10 a gallon have risen 37% since this war started, the conflict, whatever you want to call it, conflict in Iran. And the reason why I'm bringing that up because there's two stories in America happening over the last week. There's some that are celebrating, and then there's most that are struggling, because if you look at the numbers and see what people make in this country. And so while if you have a stock portfolio, you're kind of excited because it has jumped up considering what was lost over the last 3 months. It was kind of rough out there. It's also, Ursula, just real rough to see like the gains and see folks happy, but knowing that, you know, it's like
it's coming at a cost.
Right.
Yes.
It's like they pouring champagne on, you know, out there with the Wall Street, and then out here on Main Street they pumping $4 gas. It's the tales of two Americas. That's why I wanted to bring that up.
Well, one of the things that I do want to bring up, you brought up gas prices. The Strait of Hormuz, of course, one of the most critical oil routes in the world, that has been disrupted. And that is starting to hit supply. And listen to what the head of the International Energy Agency is warning about Europe. I mean, he's saying that Europe may have just weeks of jet fuel left if this war drags on.
If we are not able to open the Strait of Hormuz, if the refineries as a result will start to work, I can tell you soon we will hear the news that some of the flights from city A to city B might be canceled as a result of lack of jet fuel.
And again, there's, you know, that disparity. I mean, first you're talking about Wall Street celebrating, okay, S&P 500 above 7,000, certain stocks are doing really well, and then this other reality, it's like, there are, when I hear from people in the Philippines who are telling me about what's going on with gas prices there and the impact that's having over there, it's like, and someone pointed out how lucky some of us are to pay the cost of this war at the gas pump and not with our lives. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I'm glad they bring that up, because so far, what has been accomplished? What has been accomplished in this whole thing? And so right now there is a 10-day ceasefire, and we're here. Why? Like it didn't have to be. We shouldn't even be in this situation in the first place. But I'm not even going to blame all the way Donald Trump. We have a Congress that is designed to set up for someone not to be a dictator in any situation, but we have a Congress that just sits back and allows this to happen. So now we have people at the pump. Also, we have people potentially with their lives. Remember, we've lost 13 soldiers so far to date. We've had soldiers injured. So that means that 13 families will be impacted forever. And so when I keep asking the question, why, we can't never answer the question.
Well, and the other part is, how long is it going to last? And I know the president did say that he thinks it could be over soon. I hope the negotiations, I hope whatever negotiations are going on are successful, and that there is some way to minimize the damage that's already been done. But it's hard to know. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's look at a local story. I guess anything could be local, but we're talking about Starbucks. And the headline was, is Starbucks breaking up with Seattle? And the question is coming up because of this headline in the Seattle Times. Governor Bob Ferguson is going to be meeting today with Starbucks CEO Brian Niccol. And this is coming as the company has expanded in a big way somewhere else. We're talking specifically about Nashville, where Starbucks just opened a big, huge office and has plans to move parts of its supply chain team there. And it has space for up to 2,000 employees. The company and the CEO, they're insisting that, nope, Starbucks is not leaving Seattle. but for some reason it doesn't feel random, and it feels like it's not just Starbucks, but other companies are expanding elsewhere.
Sure. Ursula, haven't we heard that before? Didn't Boeing say they weren't going to go anywhere with their headquarters?
Mm-hmm. And then they moved to Chicago. Mm-hmm.
Didn't we Supersonics fans think that nothing was going to happen to the Sonics? And that's been 18 years. We've seen this before. The current CEO, Brian Nichols, he is the current CEO. He used to be the CEO of Chipotle.
Yeah.
You want to know what Chipotle did one time? Moved their headquarters. So, also, just a reminder that when she was the incumbent mayor, day one, stood at the picket line and told the folks right there in front of the Reserve Roastery, said, quote, "I'm not drinking Starbucks coffee, and neither should you."
Yes.
So
yeah, I think she's trying to change her tune a little bit on trying to be more welcoming of businesses and realizing she can't only side with the folks who brought her into office. We're talking about Katie Wilson. But definitely there needs to be a change in the business climate for sure, or more and more companies are going to be finding other places where they can do business cheaper.
You know, Ursula, you know what we haven't said in a while? We haven't mentioned those 4 letters. FAFO. And I don't, do you know what kind of priority you had to make it to do that on your first day? You guys think that's going away? Now, we know about the unions and situation, the union stores with Starbucks, and we've talked about how those things have been unfavorable. But Ursula, whatever happened to the word diplomacy? Why can't that word be used? Why can't you sit down behind closed doors and now
hopefully that'll happen with Governor Ferguson. And the Starbucks CEO.
Yeah, now you're having that meeting, huh? But one more thing, Ursula. You know what it took to get that meeting? It took movement. It took 2,000 folks in Nashville. And one last thing, my daughter told me as an attorney, and you probably know this best. You don't ask a question you don't already know the answer to. Mm-hmm. So this article is Starbucks breaking up with Seattle? I don't think that is a question that we need to not pay attention to. Mm-hmm. It's a real question. All right. Now, what we're doing, no-maxing? We're about to
Nonna, the Italian grandma.
I'm banning y'all from that phrase. We're going to call it something else.
Okay.
Maxing. All right. Hey, if you don't know what that is, get
we
off.
Don't either.
Don't look it up. We'll do it next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
My name is Skip, and Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland helped me with my small business administration loan. With her help, I was able to keep my small business open, and she can help you too. Please contact Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland's office at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov for help. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
511 is now part of Seattle, and they're celebrating at South Center Mall this Saturday, April 18th. 511 makes purpose-built gear, including pants, shirts, bags, and more, built to handle whatever your day throws at you. Come see it for yourself. Meet pro rider Carrie Hart and enter to win a trip to Salt Lake Supercross, including 2 tickets and $2,000 in cash. Join them from 10 to 6, one day only, Saturday, April 18th at South Center.
The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day for baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. Case in point, your ticket might be for the view level, but it's more like Skyline City,
Up here, it's hard to say what'll take your breath away first. The gorgeous Seattle sunsets or the spectacular views of every incredible play. If you like value with the view, it's the perfect place to take quality time with the family to a whole new level. Literally.
A bases clearing, 3-run double. Everybody on their feet here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
The Mariners' upcoming schedule is packed with epic events. King Dome Fanny Pack Hat Night tomorrow at 6:40. Thanks to Global Credit Union. Cal Raleigh 70s Jersey Night Saturday at 4:15. Thanks to Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. And Randy Johnson Number Retirement Night May 2nd. Presented by T-Mobile. Get tickets at mariners.com.
April is a great time to grow your connection to nature. From native fir trees in your backyard to a thriving patch of flowers or a walk through your local arboretum. Sky Nursery supports your gardening journey with quality plants, supplies, and local knowledge. Visit skynursery.com.
Gas prices keep climbing, but the cost to drive doesn't have to. At Subaru of Puyallup, fuel-efficient models help you go farther on every tank with the confidence of all-wheel drive. From the all-electric Solterra to the Forester Hybrid with up to 35 miles per gallon, your stress-free shopping experience starts at Subaru of Puyallup. For stress-free pricing, a huge selection, and all the current pricing and financing specials, visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Carpal tunnel syndrome. Heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
You've worked hard, saved diligently, and now retirement is on the horizon. But will your nest egg go the distance? With rising costs and uncertain markets, there's no time for oversimplified plans. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm John Repp. President Donald Trump says Israel and Lebanon have agreed to a 10-day ceasefire. The president made the announcement on social media, said the truce would begin at 2 p.m. today Pacific. This follows the first direct diplomatic talks in decades on Tuesday in Washington after more than a month of war between Israel and the Iran-backed Hezbollah militant group. Good news and bad news with the U.S. economy. CBS News business reporter Jason Brooks has more.
On the positive side, initial jobless claims unexpectedly declined by 11,000 to 207,000, continuing in a low range. And the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index surged further into expansion territory thanks to a big gain in new orders. There was some bad news in the Philly Fed report, with the employment index plunging into contraction territory, while the prices index surged higher, indicating more inflationary pressure. The Federal Reserve also reported that March industrial production unexpectedly declined by 0.5% from the previous month.
Amazon is accused of underpaying women by misclassifying their jobs, according to complaints that echo a similar lawsuit against the company filed back in 2023. The Seattle Times reports 2 female Amazon workers say they were significantly underpaid in comparison to male co-workers who performed similar work and had similar titles. Should Sound Transit install turnstiles or fare gates at its light rail stations to make sure that those riders are paying? Just 61% of light rail riders pay their fares currently. Sound Transit board member Claudia Balducci thinks fare gates could be helpful at some stations.
There may be some locations where turnstiles are the answer. There's just too much fare jumping, and we want to block it off. But I don't think we need to do it at every single one of these stations. And what I want to do is be data-based about it.
So Sound Transit might install fare gates at 5 stations later this year. The agency currently $34 billion in the hole for expanding light rail. On Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 56 points, the S&P 500 up 10, and the NASDAQ up 67 points after record gains the day before. KIRO Newsradio traffic. South Center to Alderwood on northbound I-5 is the biggest gap right now, 48 minutes versus a typical 40. And if you're anywhere south of Seattle trying to push north on I-5 or even 405, you're going to feel it starting at Boeing Field on I-5 and then kind of weaving through those S-curves in Renton on 405. Renton to Bellevue, South Center to Alderwood on 405, a few minutes over. But the good news, southbound from the north end is absolutely flying. Everett to Seattle, just 24 minutes versus a 44-minute average, and that's 20 minutes faster than normal, less than half the usual time. Also, Woodinville into Seattle, running great, 22 minutes on both the 520 and I-90 routes versus averages in the low 30s. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio. Here's your forecast. It's looking good as you're heading into the weekend. Partly cloudy skies. Temperatures warming, currently looking at 65 degrees on Saturday. Same deal on Sunday, and even 67 degrees on Monday. Currently in downtown Seattle, mostly cloudy skies and 41 degrees. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show, and if you've been paying any attention to the wellness world, you probably have been taking note of what you can do to feel better, or hopefully you have been, because I certainly have. And those things include taking longer walks, eating more real food, right? We always say you cannot
outwork a bad diet.
Mm-hmm. I think you're absolutely correct. You don't want to drink coffee in front of the screen. You want to be very intentional. Mm-hmm. But if you're really thinking about it, it's not that much of a new trend because, as Sophia pointed out to us, this is exactly what Italian grandmothers have been doing since the beginning of time. Now, the trendy word is nonna maxing because on the internet, everything's about maxing out. Mm-hmm. And nonna is the Italian word for grandmother. But Italy has been one of the most consistent countries when it comes to longest living residents in the world. And according to Vice, the Italian region, Sardinia, has earned a spot on the short list of places on Earth where people will routinely live past the age of 100 at 10 times greater rates than those in the U.S.
Yep.
So what do you think they're doing differently?
Well, so first of all, I love the concept. It's just Gen Z didn't discover it. And also this name really is terrible. But I love what they're doing because I nerded out during the pandemic talking and reading up on blue zone spots. And Italy always ranks as one of the spots. They have a bunch of places there where it's blue zone. And in the blue zone, they talk about it. They have some places, obviously, in Japan as well. Mm-hmm. Even though Japan, they eat a lot of rice. They're like, oh, you stay away from the carbs. They're active. they move, they walk. In Italy, they walk a lot after dinner, right? Also, one of the things you said, what do they do? Well, this is something that happens in Europe that we just don't want to do for some reason. They get a lot of work breaks. We are working all the time. They get a lot of work breaks. Now, are we trying to say that people in America don't work out? No, we work out. But we don't get active because we're working too much. That's one. Two, let's compare breads. Bread in Italy and bread in the United States.
Oh, my gosh.
The United States, bread is cake. It's cake. What you want, some white cake or some wheat cake? You know, in the United States. So there's a few things that they do differently over there.
There's a 2025 study in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine, and it found just 15 minutes of walking daily can reduce the risk of premature death. Only 15 minutes, which is something to be said about the Italian passeggiata.
Passeggiata. It's the idea of just going on a little stroll. Like, it's the kind of a thing. They're just like, oh, I don't feel good. Passeggiata, passeggiata. Like, it's a thing. I grew up, obviously, in an Italian family with a nonna that definitely lived by this mentality. And I think it was a huge thing for her as well in her life was, you know, taking on this whole concept of walking, eating good, spending time with your community. Italians are very community driven as well.
That's why I want to move up back north to the city, in city life, because you are out in the suburbs, rural communities, you walk and move less than people closer to the city.
Unless you go to a gym. But otherwise, you're not walking to the store. You're not walking.
But I would still be moving more. Even though you work out, you would still be doing more. Hey, let's go walk to get some coffee, walk to get some dinner, walk to work maybe. So.
And the other thing that Sophia mentioned is that Italians do the whole community thing. They prioritize their time with family and neighborhoods. And we know that kind of connection can do a lot in terms of reducing loneliness, reducing your stress levels, which overall has great benefits for your health.
I don't have time to go down this rabbit hole, but I'd be curious. And maybe if you're working from home or you have worked from home, I'd be curious. Did you gain weight or lose weight when you started working from home? That's really a question, because I'll speak for myself. During the pandemic, when I was staying home, working from home, I gained weight. So, look, it's all about being active. Are you active? Or are you not? And if you're leaving the house 4 or 5 days a week, you're more active than sitting at home.
Rachel in Kirkland just texted in and said, Italians are facing a national crisis because of laziness. Also, she says, I am Italian. So, but we're talking about Italian nonos who subscribe to this very particular sort of lifestyle, which I think seemingly works in their favor.
And to argue, to Rachel's point, like some people call it laziness, and really what Italians have is they have found the sweetness of enjoying life. And something else this article pointed out was that we do have such a hustle culture here in the United States.
So true.
That there isn't really time to meander and take a walk down the street and stroll and take a 3-hour lunch break. That is just not something that we have here.
Yeah.
And in Italy, fortunately for them, they have a structure and a culture in their workforce that they're able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you get a 15-minute lunch, a 15-minute break while you're at work, and then you get 2 15-minute breaks, and you get a 30-minute lunch.
Okay, hey, just with a minute that we have left here, in case you haven't heard, I do have this new advice column. We're talking about connecting and how important it is to connect with people. And we've just posted, Gee, our second installment of Ask Ursula. And one of our most loyal listeners, I won't mention her name, but she had a question about dating. Today's question is about dating. And now, I've been married for more than 30 years, so I've been out of the dating pool for a bit, but I'm still happy to give my 2 cents on this question from a listener who we will call Ready for Love. She says, Ursula, why is it so hard to find an age-appropriate guy, and where are they hiding? She tells me she's going to be 73 in June and she would love a long-term companion-style relationship. She wants someone to laugh with, hug, talk to, and enjoy life together. She says, I have tried just about everything. Dating apps, all of them, yes, including international, interracial, and religious sites. I've even asked friends and family to keep an eye out for me. I've gone to places people suggested, even checked out 50-plus community centers. Unfortunately, I've had no luck. My most recent date, she says, a man who spent most of his time talking about his road dog and the 40-foot Greyhound bus that he's been driving around. Let's just say that's not my lifestyle. At this point, I'm trying not to stress out about this, but I do wonder, am I looking in the wrong places, or is this just the reality of dating at this age? Where are the men who want something real, she asks. Okay, and for my answer, you have to go to mynorthwest.com/askursula.
All right. Coming up next on the Gee Ursula Show, it is time for scenarios. Gee Ursula.
Congratulations to KIRO Newsradio's Charlie Harger and digital content producer Patrick Janasek, nominated for a Northwest Emmy Award for investigative reporting.
It began with a question from the community. It seemed almost too stunning to be true.
KIRO Newsradio is honored to be the only radio station nominated for the prestigious Emmy Award as part of our commitment to impactful storytelling across every platform, reaching into the communities we serve on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I wanted to.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive. That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app. Upside? Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive. Does that actually add up to anything? Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app. Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code STATION for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STATION for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's STATION.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-WAG, and I want to talk to you about baseball. It's game day. The stadium roof is open. Our club's putting up a fight. Their cold brews in hand. But outside, the police are getting ready to spot fans trying to steal their home base. Maybe the night threw you a curveball. An officer made an error. Or perhaps the bases weren't the only thing loaded. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know it's not 3 strikes, it's 1 strike. And you're facing the Grand Slammer. 1-800-DUI-AWAY is here to help, even if we have to go into overtime. So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to set up your free private consultation. When you're on defense, it's full count, bottom of the ninth. You want your closing pitcher on the mound. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY. Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the day. For a limited time, get 40% off plus 15% more and 18-month 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. We do have a guest that's going to be on our show. Right now, sexual abuse allegations spurt calls for a broader reckoning in Congress. So we will have the president of the National Women's Political Caucus on with us, a UW professor. They will join us at 11:06. But right now, scenario.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
There was a small party for close friends this past Saturday. Pretty fun. My husband and I had a great time for the first couple hours. Then he played a prank on a guy that he works with. It backfired. I can't tell you what it was because it was kind of disgusting. It was really funny, but the guy was embarrassed and clearly upset. Here's the thing. Nobody has any idea who did it. And when my husband saw how upset the poor guy was, he casually grabbed our coats and we snuck out. Nobody noticed. I told him in the car it was rude that he should have thanked the host and said goodbye properly. He said, well, if we just left, nobody will even know when we left, and it's really no big deal. Now, here's what's bugging me. We don't know what happened after we left. They could be talking about the prank and figured out it was him, and then they would have figured out that we snuck out. It's driving me crazy. So what should we do? I think we need to join in the I can't believe what happened, who did it narrative to kind of get the attention off of us. But he says, I'll just make it worse. 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Ursula, you up to bat first.
Week. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but first of all, you pull a prank that you thought was funny, but it caused embarrassment and essentially ruined the party. Mm-hmm. It sounds like, based on this. Yeah. And then you don't have the to stick around and help fix the situation. And then you're thinking of now pretending that you too are shocked. I mean, it speaks to a lack of moral clarity. I would fess up and say, you know what? I mean, and it is rude to leave a party, by the way, without saying anything. Unless the only time I would do that is if it's such a huge party that it would really be almost more disruptive to make a big goodbye. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can do that. They're not going to miss you no matter what. Yeah. But in this case, the only reason they left and, were slinking away is because they didn't want to be the ones blamed for what they actually caused, it sounds like, right?
Right.
I just think it sounds like that's not a good friend.
Yeah.
I would fess up and say, man, I'm sorry. Exactly. Brent in Belfair says, grow a pair. Yes, exactly. Find your spine and actually apologize for what you did. Don't make it worse by now lying and making it like, didn't know.
Yeah. I think the wife is just as bad as the husband. You decided to leave. You knew your husband pulled that prank, so we can't just put it all on the husband. So as a couple, you guys are represented here. That's one. Two, they're going to figure it out. Somebody's going to figure it out on who it was, and then you're going to be, oh, wow, who did it? Your husband is right. You would be making it worse by trying to pull the who did it narrative. And so now everybody's looking at you like you're an idiot. But, the truth never expires. So at some point, it'll come out. So I'm with you. You should have said something. You should have said something. Well,
being pure opposite saying do nothing. Do you do nothing now?
No,
I think you should fess up.
You say something now. You pulled a prank.
Yes.
You pulled a prank. So
and someone else might be falsely accused.
Yes. No. You cannot do nothing. Now, usually I'm a number one answer usually is mind your business. But this is your business.
Yes, you caused it.
You created this. Oh, imagine that. Imagine creating something. I won't go down that rabbit hole. Sophia, what do you got?
Yeah, no, I agree. They look like a couple of clowns over here. And I think, if anything, they can maybe pull the host aside and, talk to them privately. But they're going to be upset with them regardless. And they keep digging a hole bigger and bigger, and they just need to get out of it.
All right. We're going to check in on you, Nick. What you got, man?
Well, I had to come with this one quick, but I think it is bad taste. It's kind of weird to just leave and have a laugh about it and I think majority of people don't really agree that was the consensus of what was happening. But at the end of the day, you got to really fess up and say that wasn't really the best choice to just get out of there without saying anything. So if you're going to get out of there, I guess you're going to just follow through with it. But it just is a bad look to be like that and not say anything when you leave. So next time, maybe say something before you go, but I can understand if it's kind of uncomfortable and awkward when you have that kind of reaction to what happened.
PSA on pranks.
Pranks. I was going to say, most pranks are just dumb.
Well, PSA on pranks. Yeah, dumb, good, whatever. You stand on your prank. No matter what, you stand on that prank. So if you pull a prank in front of people, you make sure that you stand behind it. This is probably...
If you don't stand behind it, it's no longer a prank. It's just you doing something
malicious.
to hurt someone. It's bullying at that point.
No doubt.
And then one more quick thing when it comes to pranks. Before you pull it off, ask yourself, what is your intention? Is it to humiliate in someone's party? A lot of people don't even think, what are you really trying to accomplish with this?
Yeah. When I was younger, I didn't think that far through it. But as an older adult, hopefully you do. Mm-hmm. Ask yourself, hey, what's your goal with this? Mm-hmm. All right. Very serious stuff that we're going to be talking about next. Right now, sexual abuse allegations spur calls for a broader reckoning in Congress. We are going to have on the president of the National Women's Political Caucus here on the Gee and Ursula Show next. Gee and Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
If by the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly there's a bolt of lightning and I croak out right there, I'm fine.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
My dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed, the 1,500-pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. TurboTax helps you get your biggest refund, and then Credit Karma helps you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Christopher Cruz in Washington. Israel and Lebanon have agreed to end hostilities. For now, from the White House, CBS's Natalie Brand.
The president announced on social media that he spoke to leaders of both Israel and the president of Lebanon this morning, and then that they had agreed to this temporary truce, what the president says will be a 10-day ceasefire starting later tonight at 5 Eastern. He goes on to say that the vice president, secretary of state, and chairman of the Joint Chiefs will work with Israel and Lebanon to try to achieve a lasting peace.
Before the announcement, former U.S. ambassador to Lebanon, David Satterfield, told the BBC a deal won't weaken the Iran-backed Hezbollah militants.
It is not going to diminish the challenge that Hezbollah poses throughout Lebanon to the authority of the Lebanese state, nor will it diminish the ability of Hezbollah to strike Israel with longer-range, medium-range missiles.
The House has rejected a resolution requiring President Trump to withdraw forces from the war with Iran unless Congress authorizes military action. The vote 213 to 214. From Capitol Hill, CBS's Torian Small.
They want to give the president the runway to accomplish the goals necessary as it relates to this current war within the confines of that 60-day deadline.
A new study has found that deaths among those detained by ICE hit a 22-year high last year.
272 detainees died in ICE custody at the highest mortality rate since tracking began in 2004.
Half of the deaths still have no cause listed. Dr. Catherine Peeler at Harvard Medical School said ICE should relieve the overcrowding at its detention centers by releasing the many detainees who haven't been charged with other crimes.
By releasing them, you allow them to seek their own health care out in the public as they want to.
She also says the government should restore cuts to detention oversight offices. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Police in Northern Virginia say the state's former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax shot and killed his wife and then fatally shot himself last night. Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis.
There's been divorce proceedings that have been ongoing. Former Lieutenant Governor Fairfax was recently served some paperwork associated with an upcoming court proceeding.
The couple's teenage son called 911 after the shootings. America is welcoming fewer babies. CBS's Gee Ursula has the count.
The number of babies born in the U.S. dropped again last year, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, as the Trump administration increasingly opposes contraception and family planning. 3.6 million babies were born in the U.S. last year, down 1% from 2024.
This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here? How is this possible? Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
Coming up, are data centers on the way for the city of Seattle, and at what cost? That story next. But first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. The delays still parked in the same spot. Northbound I-5 from the south end, South Center to Alderwood on I-5. It's really the biggest problem on the board right now. 47 minutes versus a typical 37. Renton is slow but manageable heading northbound, and that starts at 167 heading into Bellevue. And basically, if you're south of Seattle pushing north, it's going to cost you a little bit of time. But the flip side, still looking great. Everett to Seattle, just 23 minutes versus a 36-minute average. And Everett to Bellevue is 24 versus the typical 33. Now, we are seeing some outbound Seattle drives starting to creep up just a little bit. Seattle to Linwood is a couple of minutes over. Seattle to Redmond on both 520 and I-90 ticking up slightly. Nothing major yet, but worth watching. Traffic brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm John Repp. 3 companies are exploring plans to build massive new data centers in the city. Estimates on power usage vary, but one says it could be in the 390 megawatt range. What that means is enough power to run about 300,000 homes. Andy Strong with Seattle City Light says they have a new draft policy on Mayor Katie Wilson's desk.
It's going to take some time to review with the mayor's office all options that we have to protect our ratepayers.
The goal is to make sure large load customers don't drive up prices. Starbucks employees are a little jittery about the future of the coffee giant in Seattle after the company leased a massive office in Nashville, Tennessee. The Seattle Times reports that is enough space for up to 2,000 people. Starbucks currently employs about 3,000 people in its SoDo headquarters. The move comes amid criticism over Seattle's business climate, along with concerns about new state taxes. Pierce County Council members are asking Sound Transit to deliver on its light rail promises. In a letter to Sound Transit's board of directors, they say that county residents have been paying for system improvements, and they haven't been seeing anything in return. They're asking the agency to complete the light rail extension to the Tacoma Dome. And Sound Transit is also getting an earful from people in Everett who are learning that a delay for them could be on the table. Everett Mayor Cassie Franklin tells KIRO 7 that any delay is inexcusable.
35,000 people that work in and around Boeing and aerospace. It's a major job center, and people need to get to that job center.
Private security guards will patrol Golden Gardens Park overnight this summer, according to the Seattle Times. The guards will watch the boat ramp parking lot gates at both Golden Gardens and Magnuson Park. It is a pilot program that is aimed at keeping out unwanted and illegal activity. Taking a look at your KIRO News Radio weather, we have beautiful sunny skies right over Elliott Bay right now, and those clouds are starting to dissipate just a little bit more. The high 56 degrees, and then warming up Friday and warming up still again on Saturday. Partly cloudy skies, the high 65 on Saturday and Sunday. Currently, we do have mostly cloudy skies and 47 degrees. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday to all of you. Remember, I think that sunset is at 8 o'clock tonight.
How you feeling about that, G?
I feel good. I mean, I'll probably be asleep by like 8:15, but I'm good.
I can't even imagine that. 8:15, I'm just getting a running start on my evening.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now.
I was still at dinner last night.
It's probably... I get more accomplished in a day being asleep by 8:15 than I did when I used to go to sleep at midnight, if that makes sense.
It does.
I
mean, you don't have a choice because you are packing in a lot into your days.
And be fresh to go.
Yes. Speaking of fresh, coming up at 11:30, of course we're going to do Agree to Disagree. And as always, we want you to be a part of our show. Our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is open for you, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. I will say today is not as feisty. It's still very engaged, but today not as feisty as yesterday. Yesterday was Feisty Wednesday.
Feisty Wednesday.
Yeah, today's kind of more mellow Thursday.
Remind people we have a guest coming up here in a second.
We do. We absolutely do, because you have heard what is going on in Congress. Eric Swalwell, Democrat from California, he has stepped down because of all these allegations of sexual assault and harassment. Republican Tony Gonzalez of Texas admitting to an affair with a staff member. Now, one of the things we talked about yesterday is why does this continue to happen? Well, someone who worked in Congress as a staffer to a former, now late senator from Oregon is going to join us here in a few minutes. She actually teaches at the University of Washington, so she's going to join us when she can. And we are going to ask her some questions about why hasn't more changed with the dynamic there, and why does this keep happening? But let's get to it.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
And there's some big news if you are a live event fan here in this country. A Manhattan federal jury has now found that Live Nation and Ticketmaster are a harmful monopoly. So Live Nation operates, controls booking, and has equity interest in hundreds of different venues all across the country. And according to attorney Jeffrey Kessler, the company controls nearly 90% of the concert market and 73% of the overall market if you count sporting events. So if you think about it, I mean, that absolutely is a monopoly. So what could be happening now that we could see some change in the industry? Live Nation and Ticketmaster is a subsidiary. They're not going to be forced to split, but the jury's decision could mean that we see a cap on those service fees and maybe some other competitors, which could bring the prices down.
And both needs to happen. There definitely needs to be a cap on these things, and these prices for these tickets continue to be outrageous. I mean, think about it. Concerts, sporting events, everything is becoming for the rich because of all of this.
Absolutely. And yeah, we definitely want to see a change in that. Okay, I want to get to our guest because, as I mentioned, 2 members of Congress are now out of a job this week after serious allegations involving their own staff members. Democrat Eric Swalwell of California is facing multiple accusations of sexual misconduct, including allegations from a former staffer who says he sexually assaulted her. In that particular claim, he denies that. Republican Tony Gonzalez of Texas admitted to an affair with a staff member. That is something that is strictly prohibited under House rules, and he was under investigation before he announced his resignation. So is this an accountability moment or just more proof that the system isn't working? And what can be done to push against something that has been going on for decades, G? And joining us now is Lori Hennessy. She is president of the Washington chapter of the National Women's Political Caucus. And in full transparency, Lori is the person who trained me here at KIRO when I first started working many, many moons ago. Good morning, Lori.
Good morning, Ursula.
Thank you so much for joining us and for taking time out of your day. So I want to just get right to it because you worked on Capitol Hill with Bob Packwood. and there was this scandal involving him, and you lived this yourself. So when you see these cases now, does anything feel different, or are you thinking, why are we still here?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was on the Hill 30 years ago. I worked for Bob Packwood. I was his press secretary. I jokingly tell people now the worst job in the world is to be a press secretary when you're one of the people who were harassed by someone. It makes for a tough job. Nothing feels like it's changed. What Packwood was accused of was not only harassing people 30 years ago, but intimidating them, scaring them, trying to hunt them down, trying to destroy their reputations. And what we're reading with Swalwell is the same MO. It's you bring in these very young women who are impressionable. They look up to the member of Congress. They're so grateful for a moment in his presence. Then something happens, and then the member of Congress and their machinery, the staffers around them, destroy these women afterwards. And it feels like we've heard this song before, and yet here we are 30 years later. And Me Too happened, but apparently it needs to happen some more.
I want to talk about the woman part of it. Yeah. And look, I can give some numbers on the women, but why don't we see more women come out and with less support of people that are in office and also why don't we see women sometimes help with the machine that attacks other women?
Yeah, that was the part for my own story. That was the part that hurt the most. It was more than the elected official ridiculousness. It was the staff that did as directed to destroy women. And most of the staff that did that were women. So that part's hard. There's something about this defending the king at all costs that we have in the halls of Congress. We do need to make not only the members of Congress, but the staffers who work for them must be accountable and have to speak up in protection of these women who are victimized. So yeah, that's the question. Why don't people speak up?
And as you mentioned, I mean, this was 30 years ago and we're still seeing it today. Why does it still take public pressure or the threat of expulsion? And that was something that Congress was talking about if they hadn't resigned. And now we're hearing from more and more people who are saying, well, these rumors have been around. These rumors have been around. What is it going to take? What should the consequences be?
I mean, in my opinion, I mean, obviously I'm coming with the lens of the National Women Political Caucus. I think we need more women in Congress, first of all, because women have a different perspective they bring into these elected official roles, whether it's local, state, or federal. So first of all, vote for women. But beyond that, I think we definitely need to make people more accountable, and it's not just creating sexual harassment training. That's what we always do. We create a training. Well, obviously Swalwell took that training and he was still methodically doing this. And as Ursula said, it was the worst kept secret in Washington. Everyone knew. I will point out that this time, the thing that made a difference were the women all came together and created a social media machine, and women in Congress pushed for investigation. So the women all pushed to make something happen this time.
You know what? I'm glad you brought up voting. And let's talk about voting. White women in voting for Donald Trump all three times voted, the majority of them voted for Donald Trump. 53% voted for him in 2024. Here's a man found civilly liable for sexual abuse. We all know about the Access Hollywood tape. And that, I mean, it's not like there's a hidden agenda with him. Everyone knows. So I guess what my question is what does that tell us right now about how gender gets weighed against other factors in the voting booth?
Yeah, such a great question. I teach at University of Washington, and my students often will ask, you know, people of your generation, Professor, want us to vote. Show us why. Show us why it makes a difference. Because as far as we can see, your generation keeps voting this way.
Come on. Come on.
It's tough to answer that one because, yeah, I mean, we all had the facts. We all knew. People knew about Packwood. People have known about Well, there's too many people to name. Cuomo, there's plenty of people to name. So to go back to your question, I guess what I would say is most of the women I know who voted for Trump, and I don't think it's very many people, but those that I do know, they would view that vote differently if their daughter was involved. And I guess I always try to bring it back to the personal and get people to acknowledge the harm that is caused. And it matters when it's their daughter. So try to bring that story home as much as we can.
This is Lori Hennessy, president of the Washington chapter of the National Women's Political Caucus, also a professor at the University of Washington. So let's go back to from your own experience as a staffer 30 years ago. How much of this comes down to power, and does Congress still give members too much control over their own workplaces?
Yeah, they seem to be better now. I mean, we have changed some rules and procedures. So, well, they take a sexual harassment training. But I've always felt that the way Congress was designed, and I hate to say this is from the beginning, was there was too much power. If you read the quotes from some of the people that Swalwell victimized, for example, there's this quote that just really stuck with me where one of his victims said, when he talked to you, it was like the sun was shining on you. You felt like the coolest person in the room. That's the way Congress now is, right? You're a young staffer, you're 22, 23. When I went to the Hill, I was 25. And everything is oriented around having a moment with that member of Congress, and you are then a success. So we need to change somehow the way that system is designed because they have too much power. And right now, the young women are the people who are getting hurt by that.
Okay, Laura, I'm just going to keep this really simple. First, let me just say this. I don't see this getting better at all. I'm going to ask you, do you see things getting better?
I hate to be a one-note guest on this delightful show, but they will get better if you vote in more women. That's my opinion, because right now the men maybe come in with the best of intentions, but oftentimes the power will go to their head. I haven't seen that happen as much with women.
Well, and let's speak to that because right now I was trying to look it up real quick. Women make up less than 30% of Congress.
Yeah.
And okay, I want you to expand on that more. And if we are in your class and you're telling us, well, we need to just bring in more women, what would that do?
It would be like, for example, when I was there, the ethics committee was the body that had power. When the ethics committee brought me in against my will to do an investigation into the senator I worked for, at one point they read in the diaries and they said, in your diaries, Senator Packwood wrote that you wear short skirts. We'd like you to stand up. And I had to stand up. And the ethics committee said, for the record, her skirt is professional today. Now, that was only 30 years ago that a young woman would have to stand up and show that her skirt was okay. I would argue if women were on that committee, when I was there, it was all men. I would argue that they might have brought a different voice to the table, and that would have led to a different action against Bob Packwood.
Wow. Lori, there's some news. As a matter of fact, we haven't even gotten to it yet, and I don't know if you've heard about this. There's this site called motherless.com. And on this site, just recently, you guys can look it up when I'm done. On this site, it had 62 million visitors in February of 2026. And its core audience was the United States. It hosts over 20,000 videos of women filmed without their knowledge while unconscious, organized with tags like hashtag passed out, hashtag I checked. So when 62 million people visit a site like this in a month, by the way, the site is still up. What does that tell us about the laws protecting women online and those who are responsible for closing that gap, my friend?
It tells us that we still have such a long way to go. Every time we start thinking that we've changed our culture and how, first of all, that breaks my heart. Mm-hmm. And you said, Gee, the sign is still up?
Yes, still motherless.com. It had 62 million visitors in February of 2026, and the majority, its core audience, was United States of America.
Yeah. I mean, and now we have incel, we have a movement towards seeing the oppressed young man. That's not helping necessarily with this kind of us versus them way of seeing women as objects. What I would say, social media has arguably not helped the situation, perhaps not even arguably. We are at a pretty difficult point where Me Too was creating a space only a decade ago where people were starting to say, this has happened to me too, but it's faded back now in the social media climate we're now living in. So we need to rejuvenate it. We need to get young women to stand up, get engaged, fight for their rights, and everyone has to start pushing every young man in their life to not go to sites like that and to not be part of this world.
And Lori, great points, first of all. Someone just texted in 206 because you're saying you didn't want to be one note and you're pushing for more women to be elected. And this 206 says more women like Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi, and Tulsi Gabbard. No. And I know what you're saying is there are many qualified women who could do a great job, who could change the balance of power in Congress.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry. And those women are always people who don't support getting women elected always point to those same names because it's easy to find the names of women that we're not impressed by. I would just challenge people to say, do you want a world in which 30% are women? When I was there, it was like 8%, so it's better, but it's still just 30%. And there are good women out there waiting to get trained and ready to get educated so they can run, and they don't have the tools available to them right now.
You listen to the voice of Lori Hennessy, president of the National Women's Political Caucus, and also UW professor. I got about 30 seconds, and I want to ask, first of all, I just hear the positive strength in your voice. And I'm telling you right now, it's done something for my heart. So thank you for that. That's number one. Number two, can you take us back to the day that you decided I'm going to use my voice and my experience to help and make better for this world?
I love that. Quickly, one of my best friends, he used to work at KIRO a long time ago, and now he's at KOW. He and I were having coffee, and he said, you should get involved with Me Too. And I go, no one cares about my Me Too story. It was 30 years ago. He goes, no, they care. You need to get involved. And ever since then, I've been doing speaking. I do everything I can, and it makes me feel like I'm healing.
Lori Hennessy, first of all, my friend, the person who trained me here at KIRO, first person. Thank you so much. I'm incredibly proud of you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you
guys.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Wow. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, it will be time for Agree to Disagree. Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Insulation rebates from PSE are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSE insulation rebates last year. More than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSE trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you call. Get out in the sun, get your hands in the soil. A little gardening goes a long way. Hi, I'm Sarah from Sky Nursery in Shoreline. April is a great time to grow your connection to nature. Whether it's native fir trees in your backyard, a thriving patch of flowers, or a walk through your local arboretum. Whatever your adventure, there is something beautiful to discover. Our purpose at Sky Nursery is to support you on your gardening journey with quality plants, supplies, and local knowledge. Celebrate Earth Day, Arbor Day, and Native Plant Month with Sky Nursery. Garden tips and info at skynursery.com.
When the dollar's convertibility into gold ended in 1971, gold was fixed at $35 an ounce. Fast forward to today, and the U.S. dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold has increased in value by over 12,000%. Central banks are buying gold at record levels. Major firms are holding significant positions in gold. And I choose to buy gold from Birch Gold Group. It's Dan Bongino, and it all starts with education. Birch Gold just announced their Learn and Earn Precious Metals event. This free online event rewards you for learning the basics of investing in precious metals. Sign up to get free silver on your next purchase if you qualify. And you can get even larger incentives as you go. The more you learn, the more you can earn. But act now. This special event only runs through April 30th, so text my name Dan to the number 989898 to join Birch Gold's Learn and Earn Precious Metals event by April 30th. Text Dan to 989898 today. Message and data rates may apply.
Total Wellness at Home is here. Save up to $2,800 on a saltwater hot spring spa and enjoy healthy, relaxing soaks. Save up to $12,000 on an endless pool swim spa for a year-round retreat. These massive savings end April 30th.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Need some TLC for your hybrid or EV? A&M Auto Repair in Bellevue gives you fast, cost-effective, guaranteed service. Go to myevpros.com or call 425-96-EV-FIX. A&M Auto Repair treats you fair and square.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
Jazz Alley invites you to witness a generational talent celebrate two icons. Pianist Emmett Cohen presents Miles and Coltrane at 100. Shows run April 16th through 19th. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, the Bad Plus Farewell Tour.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm John Repp. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he has agreed to a 10-day ceasefire in Lebanon. In a video statement, Netanyahu says he was taking the step in an attempt to advance peace efforts with Lebanon. Israel and Lebanon opened negotiations this week in Washington aimed at forging that peace agreement. The Hezbollah militant group, which has been fighting Israel for 6 weeks, says it opposes the dialogue. A new study finds ICE detention deaths hit a 22-year high last year. 272 detainees died in ICE custody at the highest mortality rate since tracking began in 2004. Half of the deaths still have no cause listed.
ICE has tried to downplay the number of deaths in detention this past year by doing simple arithmetic of numerator over denominator, and that is not how mortality rates are calculated.
Dr. Catherine Peeler blames overcrowding after the recent immigration crackdowns, an exodus of medical staff, and cuts to detention oversight. Sound Transit might install turnstiles or fare gates at 5 of the busiest stations to see if that will help with growing fare avoidance. Only 61% of light rail riders currently pay their fares. Sound Transit board member Claudia Balducci.
I am most interested in doing what will get people to pay the fares. And I don't know that we need to invest hundreds of millions of dollars in retrofitting all our stations to make that happen.
Sound Transit currently in a $34 billion budget hole. Washington sheriffs are heading to court today to challenge a controversial new law that lets a state board decertify and remove elected sheriffs from office. The court hearing later this afternoon in Pend Oreille County Superior Court focuses on the measure, which is designed to strengthen accountability for law enforcement. And China is advising its citizens to avoid SeaTac Airport. The Seattle Times reports that China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a warning to skip the Seattle area if possible after 20 Chinese scholars with valid U.S. visas faced unreasonable questioning and were ultimately denied entry by U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 73 points, the S&P 500 also up, and green across the board for stocks with the NASDAQ up 85 points at this hour. KIRO News Radio traffic. I don't want to jinx it, but this is a stellar commute right now. You do have a couple of typical slowdowns heading into town before the turnoff to the West Seattle Bridge on I-5, for example, but that's just a 4-minute delay as you're heading from SeaTac or South Center into town and all the way up to Alderwood. You do need to pay attention, of course, as you hit that construction right over the Ship Canal Bridge and especially on the approach as you leave downtown. But I-405 northbound, it's slow, but not unexpectedly so. Just a 2-minute delay. Linwood to Seattle is a breeze right now. It's taking you just 17 minutes. Same for Linwood into downtown Bellevue, where you're looking at 14 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. With the high gas prices, now is the time to buy a hybrid or all-electric at Subaru of Puyallup. Great selection and pricing at your stress-free dealership. SubaruofPuyallup.com. KIRO News Radio weather. Calm and a few clouds mixed in with a good bit of sunshine today. The high 56 degrees. You have partly cloudy skies on Friday with the high of 59, warming up even more on Saturday at 65 degrees. Currently, it's a beautiful day outside. You have a couple of fluffy white clouds and blue skies and a temperature of 47 degrees. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is 11:34. This is the Gee and Ursula Show, a Thursday morning, Friday Eve, and it is time for us to agree to disagree. Brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves, just really go at it.
I have to say, I don't hear the word fluffy a lot, and I love a good fluffy white cloud. I heard that, I was like, oh, I love a fluffy cloud. So I just had to say that coming out of the weather. For agree to disagree today, I kind of just have one main big topic for you guys, and I wanted to ask you guys about signs. How much do you pay attention to signs? Something seemingly unusual happening in the right in front of you, and it almost feels like it's trying to tell you something. It could be as simple as seeing a butterfly float in front of you at the right time, or hearing from an old friend when you were thinking about them that related to something that you're trying to make a big decision about. Psychologists call this a meaningful coincidence. Chance events feeling connected or symbolic. And your thoughts on divine intervention aside, this is completely different. Sometimes just the smallest of things can change our perspectives on life or help you make a quick decision that could be life altering. So my question for you is that okay? Should we let meaningful coincidences change your life, or do things work out better when you're pragmatic? Gee?
Oh, yeah, I pay attention to signs all the time. And let me tell you about the last time I paid attention to a sign. on Monday, as you guys know, I was off work because I still had some family in town, and I took it off on purpose because it was my birthday weekend. I figured, makes time to get some things together. So I knew on Monday morning I was not going to work out at the gym, but my plan is I was just to go and just do my second workout that way that I do in the afternoon over at LA Fitness. So what ended up happening is I was doing some chores and I was doing some stuff with the recycle, and I went to go grab the recycle bin. And when I grabbed it, I was a real quick tweak in the back.
Ouch.
I went to go turn and
yeah.
But it caught real fast. And it startled me, and it was one of those things like, oh man, that could have got ugly. Did not go to the gym. That was my sign right there. My sign was, hey, you need to relax. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take your advice. And I did exactly that, went and sat down. So in the last 2.5 months, I have missed one day at the gym. And that was Monday.
Day.
Yep.
And you said later that you felt off also after having to miss it. But
off.
I think it depends on the situation, because I think more often I am a pragmatic person and I will always find a reason why, okay, that happened. But there are moments when I want to see something as a sign. For example, when we lost my oldest brother, who died by suicide. So we never had a chance to say goodbye to him. And it was the first time I'd ever experienced the death of a sibling. It was the first time I'd seen my parents experiencing grief at a level that I had never seen before. And I remember us being at the gravesite and up at Holyrood. And just as we were saying goodbye to my brother, we looked up, and it was an April day. And it was one of those, kind of iffy weather days. But all of a sudden the sun came out. But we also saw a rainbow, and there was an eagle. And we saw this beautiful... Wait, why are you...
Whoa, I cannot believe you said that.
You just about fell off your chair, G.
Because this
just happened?
No, when I went to go visit my dad, I got a picture of it.
Yeah.
I went to go visit my dad at his grave for the first time. And that's exactly happened as I was entering to the cemetery.
Yeah.
It was a rainbow and an eagle.
Oh, my God.
I'm not joking.
You've never told me that story, and I've never told you this story.
Wow.
So, yeah, do I sometimes think there are signs? Yes.
Whoa.
Actually, I do.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, both you having that as a thing.
I know your eyes are about out of your head.
I'm going to show you the picture.
I believe you.
So, no, I was not expecting that. So when you start talking, I was like, well, I'm going to tell the story about that. And you said the eagle. Oh, my goodness.
And I wonder if we are more open to these signs, or are we looking for these signs, or are they really just a reminder that and I'd like to leave open the possibility that was my brother. Yeah. Because we didn't get a chance to say goodbye.
Yeah. That's really powerful. I mean, and I think that's what's so significant about signs. I mean, whatever they may be, whether you believe they're a message from someone or something, they serve as really powerful tools for us in the moment. And they
sure.
And they can drive a lot of stories. That's
really beautiful. G's looking for the picture right now. I'm trying to get the tears to come back in.
Go ahead. I'm definitely. Wow.
Okay.
That is absolutely crazy that you said that.
Oh my gosh. And then I just got a text message from Maureen in the 253 who knows my brother.
It's right here. Yeah. Right. I took a picture of it.
You did.
I took a picture of it. So when you said that, it's
I think
crazy.
there were signs.
Yeah. I'm not even sure if I want to move on to another agree to disagree.
Maureen in the 253 just said George, and she spelled his name correctly, Georg. She went to school with him. Was smiling down on you with those adorable dimples of his, and I like to think that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, I guess the question is if some people do, some people don't. Some people believe in spirits, and some people don't. And I think that. Here's what I'll say. If I'm being very truthful, when someone else usually tells the story, you don't feel it as much as when you yourself are telling the story.
And sometimes you feel like guarded about telling the story because you don't want someone to ruin it for you either.
Yeah, because, I mean, you don't want anybody to think you're a little kooky there.
Yes.
They're sitting that. And I think you sound that way. But when you experience it, I think it's for you. I think it's how you interpret it, how you feel about it, and there's that. Oh, that was a deep agree,
we went
disagree.
deep. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah.
We've got your feedback and words to live by next.
Let's do it.
Congratulations to KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger and digital content producer Patrick Janasek, nominated for a Northwest Emmy Award for investigative reporting.
It began with a question from the community. It seemed almost too stunning to be true.
KIRO News Radio is honored to be the only radio station nominated for the prestigious Emmy Award as part of our commitment to impactful storytelling across every platform, reaching into the communities we serve on KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
I have been telling you about my Subaru, which I purchased at Carter Subaru, and we love the car. It's a 2016, but I haven't had to get a new one because it is working so well. But if you've been curious about, maybe you're thinking about going hybrid or you're ready to make the jump to fully electric, start at Carter Subaru. It is Seattle's only Subaru dealership, and right now the all-electric 2026 Solterra comes with 0% APR for 72 months. Again, 0%. That is as friendly as financing gets, really. And if you're leaning hybrid, Carter Subaru has you covered there as well with Crosstrek and Forester hybrid options, plus one of the largest selections in the entire state. We're talking about 700 vehicles in stock. So if electric or hybrid is even on your radar, now is the time. Carter Subaru in Ballard or Shoreline, or go to cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 4/30/26.
Owie, wowie.
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all?
What?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at ApolloPlumbing.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Mark is 76, and his shoulder pain was getting in the way of him playing baseball. You heard that right. Baseball.
Yeah, there's a whole league here of old guys pretending like we're kids.
The pain from severe arthritis just wasn't going away.
It was like a nerve-type pain, and I couldn't sleep at night.
That's when Mark decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
Well, if I can avoid surgery anytime, you'd probably be better off.
Mark is back out on the diamond playing baseball.
So I moved into this retirement community, and I talked about my shoulder, and these old people here, they got all excited about it, and 2 of them now have gone to see Mark Wagner. They don't like driving into Seattle, so I drive them in.
He more than recommends Dr. Wagner. He chauffeurs. So whether it's a hip like mine or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
Nothing worse than clutter. With Closets by Design, everything will finally have its place. 40% off plus 15% more and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. ClosetsByDesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN today.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Welcome back into the show. I think I see a little sun peeking out there. Nick, it's peeking, ain't speaking.
Oh, it'll speak one of these days.
All right,
Pretty soon.
all right. Ursula, what you got for us?
Well, boy, that got to be quite the emotional segment there for Agree to Disagree. And a lot of you are sending in your stories of signs that you've seen, including Sarah in Ferndale, who said, at my kid's dad's outdoor service, an eagle flew over and dropped a feather. And we were at Horseshoe Lake where he grew up. He loved bald eagles, and we all felt it was a sign.
Wow.
Yeah, and then a really special story from 253 said sometimes you don't know till wait later. My daughter had gone to grad school and lived for 7 years away from home. And trying to go back from the East and West Coast, she asked if she could move in with us. Knowing her intent was not to be in Washington, we would always ask, why is she here? 6 months into living with us, I was diagnosed with cancer. She was a doctor. What better person to have in during chemo and radiation? On my final radiation treatment day, our daughter announced she had gotten a job out of state.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Keep reading these.
Roger in University Place says, Tuesday would have been my dad's 95th birthday, but I was not able to visit his grave until yesterday. Before I finish this story, he had a yellow Stingray with black racing stripes that I loved when I was little. So while walking to the cemetery yesterday with my wife and one of our daughters, I saw a near exact replica of that car. I am in tears right now as I send you this.
Yeah. And Janet in 425 says, oh, guys, I also have one for you that involves an eagle. I lost my both parents in my early 20s. They never had a chance to meet my husband-to-be. On the day of our wedding on a bluff over the Snake River in front of the Teton Mountains, just as we were saying our vows, and after my friend who was officiating had spoken about my parents not being there, a majestic eagle soared above and circled our ceremony.
Oh, my gosh. The eagles...
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of people are a sign, for sure.
And the double rainbow as well. Mariah in
Yes.
425 said the first double rainbow she had ever seen was at her father-in-law's memorial service just as they started.
So, I because for some reason, the text line
is blowing up right now.
It's blowing up. But do most of us not share these stories because we feel weird? Because I don't ever share these stories. Like, I never do.
I think you share them with people you feel close to who would appreciate the stories.
Not even them.
Wow.
Not even them.
Yeah.
I feel weird because sometimes you just, I don't know. Have you ever heard somebody tell a story and you didn't believe it? So I don't want to be that person.
I know, but if you are someone who also has faith and you are a faith-loving person, you're someone who believes in a higher being, why would you doubt someone who says they see signs of a loved one?
Right.
You know, I mean, it's
Right.
kind of like we allow our brain to go certain ways, but then other ways it's like, okay, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it depends on who you want to share it with and who would appreciate it. But I love hearing the stories, so thank you for sending them. Regarding light rail, 425 says, I think everyone is tired of the taxes. I don't see myself ever riding light rail, but maybe just out of principle, I would refuse to pay and just take it for free. People need to just start paying. You know you're going to take it. It costs money. And again,
but don't even give them that opportunity. You know, downstairs, Ursula, we got this thing that you can pay to lunch. What is it called, Avanti or something?
Yeah, it's a market.
It's a market. So downstairs, y'all, we got a market where you don't, you can just, it's kind of like an honor system. You can go down there and you can take things, but when
they
you
have
take
cameras,
things,
by the way.
they have cameras,
Yes.
but you're supposed to pay.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? My thing is so what they got cameras? Don't give anybody the ability to not be honest. That's like saying that somebody works at a bank and they get to go in the bank all by themselves. Just don't give them the opportunity.
Yeah, and when we why we're talking about this, you can listen in the 9:30 segment, whether it is metro buses or light rail. They've got enforcement officers, they've got the ambassadors, and they're just not enforcing. And they spent how much money did they spend? And issued 8 citations and then waived the citations.
And nobody's paid.
Yes, that's just ludicrous. And then you wonder why both agencies are struggling with a lack of funds. Okay, on Living Like a Nona, an Italian grandmother, Nikki of the 253 says, I swear when I lived in Italy, they live on carbs, LOL, and yet they weren't stressed out. And they were hanging out at restaurants and bars, which were cafes, and socializing was encouraged. I lost weight. I still have no idea how, but they did walk everywhere.
And Rachel in Kirkland said, I am struggling to teach my children and grandchildren that taking time to walk or taking a break at work is about mental health. While I'm thankful for growing up with an Italian nonna, I would rather have people adopt an idea of choosing mental health and peace with whatever amount of time you have whenever you have it.
True.
If you can't get out for a stroll or if your lunch break is short, don't use your precious, valuable time doom scrolling or dwelling on not having more time to do what you want.
Right.
If you just cut your doom scrolling by half, and I'm talking to myself, my gosh, my health would improve dramatically.
That was part of my walking with G today.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep. All right, Ursula, let's get to it. Where's to live by?
Well, it's just inspired by our conversation here. Our loved ones are always with us, unseen possibly by many, but the signs of their love are everywhere.
Signs of love is everywhere. Like that one. That was good. Nick!
Well, lately there's been nonstop fads that Gen Z makes each day, from the drip to flexing glow-ups that hits different, they would say. But this Nona-maxing phase does seem a bit against the grain, seeing signs to cut clout chasing and embrace a life more plain. And maybe boomers saw the signs first for this life with breaks, but they wouldn't see the sign to pick this name for their own sake. I've heard non-maxing on the show, Nona-maxing, Nora-maxing. Let's not hurt ourselves trying to get the pronunciation right here. We're not going to judge you, all right?
You know what's crazy, Nick? I've stopped trying to guess ever since I guessed that one time.
Yeah, I think you're like 1 for 176 or something.
But this song right here is perfect. I saw this. Oh, man.
Well, there you go.
Well done.
And he has to do it so on the fly.
On the fly. By the way, you sent that to me, and my family was able to hear what Nick did, and so they're like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad they got to see it.
What's that? What's that?
Because remember my family were in here?
Yes.
And they couldn't hear Nick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
I sent G a cut of Nick's thing.
I love it.
Hey, real quick before we go. Nick, is things don't get better with the Mariners, man?
Oh, my God.
I don't want to talk about
disaster.
last night, but I think it could only get better from what happened in yesterday's game. So,
okay.
Yeah. That was a rough one.
You always got to check in with Nick. Check the pulse.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, just check the box score in yesterday's Mariners game.
At one point, the Mariners looked like they had it all wrapped up, and then they didn't.
Wrap it up. Hey, thanks, Ursula. Do this again tomorrow. Thank you, Sophia. Appreciate it. Thank you. Nick, thanks, man.
You too, man.
Hey, the Jake and Spike show, they're coming in next. Make sure you stick around. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
No one's gonna drag you up to get into the life for you.
The John Curley Show.
I can't wait till I get a little older, be the really crotchety old guy, getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about artificial intelligence.
I cannot answer that.
Many professions are using it, and allegedly some are even being taken over by it. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know police are leveraging AI, whether it's analyzing body cam footage, reading license plates, or even facial recognition. AI has become a helpful tool, enabling officers to work more efficiently. And efficiency for them means more people getting pulled over. You can't chat GPT your way out of a high BAC. Getting legal advice from AI is no substitute for an attorney. Use AI correctly, or it can result in trouble, like a self-driving car taking you home from a bar.
You have reached your destination.
So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. If you get pulled over for DUI, the only thing you need your smart device to do is call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded one new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in store and online. Staples, that was easy.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not